to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, tune to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moravia, tune to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just tune to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, tune to spoon. Spoon. Yeah, to the spoon. You from Fonjema, Maryland, to the spoon. Yeah, to the spoon. If you eat Cape gradually, my brother, to the spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to the spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You wanna get a news update, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, 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 kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you about today? Spoon TV. Spoon. Yes, what you about today? Spoon TV, Spoon Ba-da-ba-de-ba-de-ba. Skiddy-biddy-biddy-da-ba-do. Spoon TV, Spoon Entertainment. Kua. Bese kua, kudileo.
Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band, charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon television. Spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Moravia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon, you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, my brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening, Moravia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You from Fonjema, Maryland, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. If you eat Cape gradually, my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. Yeah, to spoon. You wanna get a news update, to spoon. What? Yeah, Rastafari. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you about today?
Spoon TV, Spoon.
Yes, what you about today? deba. Skibidi bidi dabado.
Okay, we like to say good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching us from Odious, Congo Town in Monrovia, Liberia. Welcome to one-on-one with the CEO and his co-host, Abdullah Kiatamba, the political analyst. Welcome to it. This beautiful Sunday evening. The time is 5 minutes, climbing up 8 o'clock in Monrovia. So shortly we will be joined by the CEO and his co-host, Abdullah Kiatamba. And of course, the show this evening, as usual, it promises to be very, 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 very interesting. Today, our guest is Mr. Amara Konneh. And of course, he is a senator there in Bapolo County. He's going to be the guest on the show here this evening. So don't go away. Please invite someone to listen alongside you because it promises to be very, 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 very intriguing. A lot of, trending national issues are going to be discussed. The senator will be, questioned, about several happenings in the country. And as you may know, he's somebody who is, on top of most of the political happenings in the country. So he will be sitting on the platform here this evening to give his insights on some of the big trending issues in Liberia. So don't go away. This is the one-on-one with the CEO. We hope to be joined very shortly by the CEO and Abdullah Kiatamba. And of course, like I said, once they join us, we will kickstart the show. Abdullah just arrived in studio. So welcome to it. We live on Spoon 107.5 FM. Fabric 101.1 FM, and on our various social media platforms. We live on Spoon TV, Fabric TV, Super TV live this evening. Okay, so we've been joined by the CEO. CEO, welcome.
Yeah, KZ. I know due to your technical problem, we're here today. We want to say thank you very much, folks. Thank you for joining us. As you are fully aware, we're going to have Senator Amara Konneh in shortly. We have a lot of conversation to start this wonderful one-on-one with the CEO plus the late comer, Abdullah Kiatamba. I always here on time and Abdullah always late. You have to understand. You can see how you doing today. How's Liberia?
I'm okay, see you. How yourself?
All is well. All is well. I can't wait for this interview, folks. I want to just share with you that we will be discussing. We have some rules here on one-on-one with the CEO. I know it's very, 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 very strong. It will be interactive. Please do not sit back. We like to entertain your question, your concern. It is not the number spoon talk. It's back and forth, engaging. I ask question, Abdullah asked question, and we gave Senator Konneh the chance to answer the question within 2 minutes. We got a lot of questions. And the 1 hour program right now, if you look at your clock, is 3:51 p.m., 3:52, 7:52 in Liberia, 3:52 here, Eastern Time, USA. We asked our question in less than 30 seconds and gave the senator chance to answer the question within 2 minutes.
We got a lot to discuss about. MedTech, CTN, 285 equipment worth millions of dollars. The money that was promised to President Barker when he took his first trip to Washington, D.C. What's going on with that money? The issue of a good governance, the issue within the legislature, what's going on? The UP Alliance, what's going on? What's going on in Buffalo County? What new? What's going on with the people of Buffalo? They elected Senator Konneh. What have he done within the time given? You know, this is his first term. He's serving. I don't know whether he's going to run again. But what's new? So we're going to bring you this and many more. Please share our program. Please invite your friends. Tell somebody to come and join us. We will not wait for anyone. We want to jump right into this. Amra, we want to say, Abdullah Ketema, it's good to have you. We say welcome again. Let's make this is our third time, right, Abdullah?
Yeah, this is our third time.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep track, man. A lot of demands, a lot of people calling. They want to jump in. So give me a few seconds real quick. The senator is waiting. He's seated. And for us to get into it, I mean, what say you? Without hearing you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
They can hear me now.
You know what you can do? Yakezi, do it now for him, for Abdullah and myself to be on if you want to fix it. You want to say something, Ketama?
Yeah, can you hear me?
You're good, Ketama. You're super.
Okay. Can you hear me now, right?
You're super.
Yeah, man. How you doing, my man? How was church?
Church was good, man. I preached today.
Oh, kidding me. What's the
Yeah, I
sermon?
preached today. Moses and the burning bush. Take off your shoe. Don't come to the holiest of the holiest.
Sermon there, my man. Everybody
All that sermon, we're picking it. We got to remind the people, you know. Yeah, remember Hash Liberia, you know, we have the senator. He's seated. He's ready. I want us to get going. What say you? Anything new? Anything you want to add? Because I just want to get into it.
Well, if you think we should do, I thought we should do a little warm up. But if you want us to bring him
We
on,
can do a little warm up. That's why I'm asking you. I'm giving you the chance.
a little warm up. What you got? What you got? What's your
I'm kind
reading?
of confused. I've been tracking, like I had this drone in the air on Konneh. Right now he's in the state, right? Whenever he posts something, Ketema, it have huge following, right? It's like he speak as Konneh, not as a senator. He speak at certain time like I'm a senator of Buffalo County. He speak like I'm one of the political leaders within Liberia today. He speak as, and I'm saying this and I will ask him the question, like I belong to no one, no political party. I am an independent individual. You know, it comes from different angle. But then I went into the Bible to understand when Solomon was presented with a case, the woman said that my baby killed him. The other woman said that my baby don't kill him. Solomon was confused. And he said, I will go in the middle of this child. But the rest of the story, you know, the woman I said, listen, you don't have to kill him. If you think that's a child, give it to her. At least we'll live to see the child growing up. We'll live to see this child becoming a man, a woman. We'll live to see the goodness of the child, though that's my child, but don't kill him. Give the child to her. And the wise King Solomon said, no. It takes only the wisdom of God. So what did he do? He gave the child to the woman and said, don't kill him. If it is your child, Abdullah, I'll tell you this, you do not want to see the child die. Even they gave you half of the finger of that child. That's something within this government. An alliance. They call themselves UP Alliance. What's going on with the alliance, Ketema? You come in and talk to me. I've given you my Bible story.
So that's a beautiful Bible story. Bible man, pastor. You know, one time they call you pastor, you say you're not pastor, but one day they call you evangelist. Look, I think we do see that the alliance has cracks. There are cracks in the alliance, and there are cracks some of the major players. Some of those who can you hear me? Can you really hear me?
I can hear you. You're good.
Okay, some of the major players that propel this rescue team to the height of power, a little, to some extent, disenchanted, to some extent losing hope and faith in the direction of things. I don't think they're quite there yet to disengage totally but they're raising their voices. And I think it is a good thing. Look, there's two situations here. When CDC came to power, there were a few people who were seditious and were raising their voices. So it's a good thing that now there's a tolerance for those who are raising their critical voices against some of the missteps. Because when that happens, they prevent a larger missteps. They prevent a larger disaster. So I think it is a good thing. And these people are being tolerated, and they are provided that environment and space, and they're listening ears. And to some extent, Amara has seized that space. He has embodied that voice of dissent against somebody, to some extent, believing that
and let me say this, and folks, bear with us. I know you really want to see Senator Konneh on. Just give her a few seconds. We got to lay something up. What you just said to what I have said, Abdullah, have this now separate Amara from the group?
I don't think I don't think he has separated Amara from the group. Amara is just giving courage to those who are silent to also raise their voices. He is inspiring people to say, look, we build this together. We build this movement. We make sure this movement reach a logical conclusion by winning state power. But we cannot leave it to derail, to get hijacked by some of these capitalist pillagers, some of these old boys who come and seize movements and turn it into...
Ketema, so you're going to bring in the senator now. But my last quick question to you, and I know we have a post-analysis. Who deceived who? Who didn't tell the truth? Why is it a surprise to Amara Konneh? Amara Konneh served under Madame Salih. Amara Konneh was like the boom. He was right there. He was a decision maker under Madame Salih. At some point, he was like, he knew it all. He was the man that would strategize the entire Liberia economic framework system. He got a history that he had built here in America, in Washington, D.C., with the IMF. He's not a novice. No, he's not Johnny Jess Khan. Didn't he know that this is the same UP that he operated within?
Well, I think, look, Amara, like I said before, Amara is the first casualty of the political victory for Unity Party. Amara should have been seated at the table where decisions are being made, where policy are being crafted, where looking at the impact of these things. But I think for some reason, maybe for strategic internal political reason, he was, because look, all these senators still have leverage over the president. Prince Moy, Yombli Kanga, DeLong. But Amara has taken his basically, Amara is outside the room. He's not in the room. He's not even a yard. He's outside the fence. He complaining. He raising his voice.
On that note, I want to, folks, if you can hear me or is there any problem, let me know. We'll try to catch up with our audio. I know you're asking for the senator. He's coming on now. Am I clear to you, Ketema? Am I clear to you?
Yes, you are.
So let's rock and roll. Ladies and gentlemen, the 26th day of May, 2024, Amara first presentation here on 101 with the CEO. The senator is seated. He's ready. Don't please push us. Share your thoughts. Share your question. We will bring in your own comment. We will ask the senator if you are asking a question, but we want to say we would be very engaging. So right now, 4 p.m. here Eastern Time, America, 8 p.m. in Liberia. Let's welcome Senator Amara Konneh from Bapolu County, Republic of Liberia, to the show. Senator, welcome. It's always good to have you. Your first time here on Spoon Talk. Welcome. 101 with the CEO on Spoon Network. Welcome, Senator.
Thank you, Stanton. Good to see you, my brother Kiatamba. Good to see you.
Yeah, welcome.
Yes,
welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
As always, if we are getting a little feedback though.
Feedback from me?
From Amara, from the senator.
Oh.
Are you using your device directly?
No, my son set up this thing for me.
You got earpiece?
No, I don't have any earpiece.
Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
It's better now.
Okay.
Maybe let manage with it. If you can hear Senator Amara Konneh, please just say yes or so, but we're getting feedback. Uh, if you can hear him, thank you very much, Emmanuel. Thank you very much, JJ. Thank you, Tengbe. If you can hear the senator well, I'm hearing myself. Let us know if you think it's okay. Let's continue with the show. But don't forget to share. Somebody say it's loud and clear. Somebody say yes. Ellen say yes. Beatrice say yes. Good guys. Now let's rock and roll. They can hear you very well. Welcome to 101 with the CEO on Spoon Network, Senator Amara.
Thanks for inviting me.
We're going to give you a minute to two for you to go ahead. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I noticed something though. The man is setting like a potential presidential candidate.
Ketama, man. Come on, man.
Obama is saying the Oval Office. You notice that? Obama is saying the Oval Office. Look at I'm not saying, my man. And this the guy, my man. Look at the guy. Let's be honest.
God. Come on. I'm not even thinking about that.
But you know what, Senator?
Now will be juicy.
Senator, is there any way you can come a little closer, or they can take the computer closer to you? It seems like you're too far off. That's what they're saying. Huh?
Can you put me back in the background?
Okay.
So I can readjust?
Thank you. But you caught that, okay, Temba. He's sitting like he built his own Oval Office. He built this thing, and everything just. And listen, we are walking towards 2029. So I'm telling you're making me a thing.
The man is acting the role before the role.
But what do you think, though? America in 2029, what you think real quick? Why he making some adjustment?
Look, America bring a lot of strength. Let's be honest. He has a vast understanding of the politics, of the policy space in Liberia. He's been a front row seat. He understands some of the games. He's wheel and dealing in the politics. He's been at all levels. But again, it has to do with the people part. Does America has the political capital? Does America has the political base? Is America is the face and champion of a major populist cause that are driving passion and intensity around the country? Does Amara look like a winnable candidate? Is he a dark horse or formidable force that can rally the people, that can bring people across different political aisles around a common agenda? And is he charismatic? Can he speak to the hearts and the minds of the country in a way that is effective? There's a demographic playing in his favor. Do you have a geographical strength where in the north?
The geographical strength. Let's bring him in. Hey, I tell you, folks, you are to the right place at the right time. Welcome to 101 with the CEO with Abdullah Ketia, my co-hosting along with me. We are going to bring in Americana again. Listen, folks, it's all about Liberia. It's all about the trending issue. A lot of you guys were waiting, so go ahead. Share this in every social media outlet, Spoon Network, Super Fabric, YouTube, everywhere. Make it shine and make it rain. Let's bring in Senator Amara Konneh from Buffalo County. Senator, you are much better. You are much better. You zoom in well. Let's see if we can hear you better.
Your presidential posture has expanded.
I'm like, you're a troublemaker. You want to cause confusion? Let's focus on me being senator for now. Let me answer all the questions today to the best of my ability and honestly. Let's do that. Forget the 2025. Out there, 5 years out.
We got a lot to go on. Sorry, again, folks, we have time for the jokes and the play. This is what we do on Spoon Talk. But let's talk about the real issue. I want to give you 30 seconds. In 30 seconds, talk to us. I mean, what's been happening? Give us a little intro, Senator.
Well, it's always good to be on the show, and this is my first time on the Sunday show with you and my brother Abdullah. I want to leave this open, as I've always done when I come on the show. But it's good to look at the administration's first 100 days in office. I think we are about 130 to 40 days now. Let's see, how we can build on the small gains. There were some gains, but there was also some missed opportunities. What can we do to build on the gains in order to move forward? Like Yatamba said, and like you said, I was listening to you in your opening monologue when you did a biblical story about the two women with the child and King Solomon. Look, I've always maintained that this is my government. I want President Boakai to succeed. I've been there before. I know how people basically lie to presidents in Liberia, how they mislead them, and then how they set them up for failure early. I had the experience under Madame Saleh when I became Minister of Planning. The performance rate of the government on the implementation of the poverty reduction strategy was 18%. I quickly did a nationwide survey on implementation and I saw 18%. I went to her and I said, "This is your performance, but I'm afraid to release it because my colleagues will go against me." She said, "Bring it to cabinet." We went to cabinet, presented it ministry by ministry, point by point, and it was decided that I do an appearance at MICAT, which I did. You can check the YouTube video. I announced 18. This is not my first time holding my own government accountable. I've been doing this for more than 20 years. And after that, we were able to push implementation to 70%. And that contributed to her re-election. So what I'm trying to do is I'm not angry, I'm not bitter or anything. I'm in the Senate. I have leverage there. I have the platform. But I want to make sure that to the extent there is separation of power, we can do the check and balance on our own government so that we don't leave that to the opposition. This is what I'm trying to do here.
Thank you very much, Senator Konneh from Barbados, folks. We're gonna hit this thing and we're gonna hit it running again. We are here up to 9:30. This thing should be over 1 hour with Senator Konneh. So allow us to ask our question. We'll be very hasty because we want the juice of this program. Katemat, I will yield to you. You go first with your first two questions, sir.
My questions are this. Let me say the first question. What are three major things that trouble you about the direction of the rescue team? Three things that you think could have been done better or should not have happened in the first place, and that requires a deeper reflection. What are those three or five things? 3 to 5 things, if you want.
Thank you. Number one, I feel that we could have managed the transition better. Three things we try to point out in the transition. One, to make sure that President Boakai would do the transition differently for President Weah. The transition from President Saleh to President Weah was noisy, was militarized to some extent, and sort of early on derailed the administration, and then a few people became too powerful and they crowded out the rest of the policymakers, the thinkers. We didn't want that to happen. John Mullen and I pushed for this in our discussions with the transition team in the chat room, focus on what the president is inheriting from his predecessor, for the person he's about to succeed. Let's know how much that President Weah is leaving in the bank for him. Let's know what the assets and liabilities are. And then you will be in the position to sort of craft your agenda to move the country forward. It was on that basis that we came to Washington. I will talk about that later on. That's number one. Number two, do your appointments differently from your two predecessors post-conflict, Madame Saleh and President Weah. And the way to do it is to put together a small vetting team of people, of prominent Liberians, of patriotic Liberians who have no vested interest in serving in the administration. People like Sister Mary Lorraine Brown and others, good lawyers, good policymakers, etc. Bring them together into a small team led by the vice president who will vet people and submit 3 names to you for each position that you can interview and then clear for appointment. That way you have the benefit of getting the head of the entity, the next possible best person that would be deputy to that person, and so on. So they know that should they mess up, there's an equally competent, qualified person to replace them. This is not people throwing people at you, but you making that decision. So those 2 things I thought were not properly managed. And as a result, we saw some early missteps in the transition, particularly in the taking over at some institutions. We didn't have to, be militant about that. We didn't have to ignore existing laws on tenure, etc. So that bothered me quite a bit when it could have been prevented. And then finally, the first 100 days is when the president sets his agenda. It's when you inspire the nation. It's when you lay a clear roadmap to let the unemployed young people know that now they can hope on a better future. To let the people in the markets know that now they can bank on doing their markets in a cleaner environment. And to let rural Liberia know that now you have a true indigenous son of the land who is not going to let you down. And I didn't see that in the first 100 days. And those are the three things to answer your question that I thought could be better.
Ketema, you still going?
Yeah, if you want to go, you go.
No, I'm done. I'm done. Three things. I'm going to skip to three things. Yeah.
Senator, let's talk about the vetting. I know Ketema will come back.
Yeah.
You were part of the team, the initial start. We got the video.
Yeah.
You were crying after we won.
Yeah.
You and myself appear on Spoon.
Yeah.
We cracked the number. It was from your magic war room.
Yeah.
What went wrong? I mean, what was the problem? You were there. You visited the president, the elected president. You were there from day one. You visited him every morning. What was the problem that he didn't listen, or you guys didn't suggest the actual vetting team? What was the problem here?
I think it was the political maneuvering. I think for me, I felt comfortable that I was an elected senator and I came to the game with no hidden agenda. I just wanted to help as much as possible to the best of my my commitment, to a better Liberia, and also my experience. I like to say vast because I have deep knowledge, like Katamba said earlier, about how these things work. I wanted to help from that perspective. And then we saw that in the trip to Washington. We got strong commitments there because you all saw that we didn't meet with low-level people. And then as we push...
I beg you, Senator, and let me allow me to interrupt you. I want to be pointed, right?
Okay.
We'll come to Washington.
Yeah.
When you asked not to come in to see President Bouakai again, at
No.
what point you broke away? But that's what we want to know, because you were part of the transitional team, the JPTT. You were part of that team. The president went after your good advice. You had conversation with John Malou. You had conversation with now the finance minister, Burma Kamara. You were part of the crowd. When did you leave? Who pushed you out?
Okay, but that's the point. I've never left. I'm still there. I just want you to know that I'm still there. Nobody pushed me out, and I'm there. But I want to maintain the principle of separation of power. It's important for our democracy that we can be in the legislature and doing executive function. The moment I took my oath to be senator of Buffalo County in this 55th legislature, I released a statement that evening, and announcing that I was divorcing myself from the transition to focus on legislative work, because at that point, legally...
No, I understand. When you took the oath, I'm sorry, sir. When you got your certificate...
I did not leave, but when we came from Washington, let me come to your question real quick.
Thank you.
After the Washington trip, I stayed behind to do my medical checkup because I had not done it for over a year due to the campaign. So I stayed back to see my doctor, to do my teeth and so on. And then when I got back, the clusters were working. So all the clusters were working. Everything was, headed by somebody. But the cluster that I really was focused on, if I may, was the economic cluster. To make sure that we were getting the right information from the various sectors there. But communication became a problem. People would not return text messages or phone calls, etc. And that indicated to me that there was no interest in tapping into my experience. Then the thing that really, really, really killed, my whole spirit on this, the president-elect called me and told me that people were complaining that I was I was too vocal in the transition, and that that could be a problem. And so, and I said, but what is specifically that I was doing, me and John, because they are already recruited John as well. But there was nothing tangible. At that point, it became clear to me that certain individuals in the transition wanted to manage things. And since I was in my space as a lawmaker, I could help them from the legislature if my help was needed. It was at that point that I decided to focus on my legislative work.
So,
Ketema, beg you, can I squeeze in?
yeah,
I know I beg you, I know it's your question. The president-elect, President Joseph Yima Bouaka, the elected president, then called you. I love to listen to people, Senator, and say, Mr. Senator, the people are complaining. You are too involved. You are too vocal. I want you to expand on that. How does that make you feel? After we just won an election, you are trying to set up a vetting team. You are trying to work with John Molu, whosoever that was on the JPTT. Did he call you to kick you out of the cycle? Did he call you to tell you, say, enough is enough? We can take it from here?
No, he did not kick me out of the cycle. He did not say enough was enough. He just said that people were complaining. And so I made a decision that I should not be a distraction at that point, because I was not going to compromise my belief in the three things I just told you. I wanted President Bouaka to be different from President Salih's, transition from, the late Judy Bryant, from the transition from President Salih to President Weah. I wanted his legacy to start with that, and I believe in that. And to the extent that I was not needed anymore in that process, I'm an independent person. I walk away, but I'm still committed to helping them. They should see me as an ally, because I am pointing out somebody who helped to make them. I'm pointing out things that they don't want the opposition to point out, and that's not good for them.
Thank you, Ketema. Thanks for that.
No, Amati, this is a very remarkable candor admittance. But I mean, you're a politician, so we heard the political side. You say, "Oh, nobody pushed me, I left," but then you say they pushed me out again. So, so it was quite interesting exchange between you. And they said, "No, I don't mind. They got follow antics." So yeah. But anyway, look, I think that it doesn't sound to you like the regular Liberian political conspiracy where they come around and say, look, we see this guy could overshadow us, could threaten our space, and the best thing to do is to find some kind of thing and poison the president mind about him. Do you feel that? Do you see this as a redux? Reading Liberian political history, do you see that? Be honest.
Let me tell you a story quick to answer your question. I'm Minister of Finance, right? And then President Salih goes and get this surgery on her hand at one point, if you can recall. And then the news spread that she was dead. And then, the CDC is carrying casket around Monrovia, basically letting people know that President Salih was incapacitated. I don't know if you guys remember this. The year was around maybe 2013, 2014, before Ebola. So there's this pandemonium in town. The president scrambles from a hospital bed in the US to come back home. Supporters of the president come together, say they're going to give the president a rousing welcome at the airport. They invite me as Minister of Finance to underwrite the cost. So I go there, and they wanted about 100K. It's not in the budget. It's not budgeted for. And I tell them I don't have the money. We don't have any money. We don't have any budgeted line for event like this to welcome the president. So I did my job. So the president returned, but then I came back, and then I called a few business people, appealing to them to support this group, to help them bring the president back in the way that they wanted to. Some of them gave them money, etc., but they did not disclose that to the president. So when the president came back, they told the president that I was against her coming. She gave me too much power, blah, blah, blah. President Salih drove from the mansion to my office for the first time, and she asked me this question. And the only thing that saved my ass, my behind, was that those people that I called in the private sector to support them admitted to it. So that's Liberia right there. That's Liberia right there. So I'm not new to this. I'm used to it. So Amara is this, Amara is that. Some people even told President Barker that I was worth 200 million. He told me that, you know. This whole thing about the perception, being finance minister in a country, nobody knows the trouble that you're going through. Nobody knows how you brought yourself up, but you occupy the office, therefore you corrupt. I know there are people in his inner circle who feel intimidated by my presence. There are also people who hate my God. So I know that, but I believe that at this point, we should help the president, regardless of our politics, regardless of our personal issue with each other, to succeed. Some people will do it by praising him. Some people will do it by manipulating their relationship with him so that they too can foster their interests. I don't have any interest in that. I would push it as I see it, consistent with my constitutional duties as a senator.
Thank you very much. Folks, we have Senator Konneh. One thing that is trending right now, I should tell you that President Barker called you and said folks were complaining and he needed you to chill. It's trending right now. In all the chat room, as you're speaking, they are sharing it.
It's a fact.
It's the number to provide it, you know.
No. Listen, we are doing a show.
Yeah, that's what they did. That's what they did to us after our victory, and we were trying to push hard. So the president will set the agenda from day one. Look at the inaugural speech. Look at that long speech. It was not inspiring. Let me say that. It was not inspiring at all. It did not inspire a weary nation. It did not inspire the Zocos. It did not inspire the single mothers. It did not inspire the unemployed young people. It did not inspire the civil service. It did not inspire the private sector. Okay? So you tell me, this is where you inspire the country with new direction without even mentioning the flaws of your predecessor. So these are the things we wanted to avoid. And when we talk about transition, the focus became on jobs. Everybody started scrambling. And maybe I was naive that people had been out of work for 6 years. So don't come here with your thing. You've been blessed. God was able to move you to the World Bank. You've been there for 7 years. Until you came, you've won. So to hell with you. Maybe I should have been sensitive to that in hindsight. But my point was, let's get the president balanced first, and then everything else will take care of itself.
So who are those people you think President Barker was referring to?
You don't have to get names from me, Stanton. You know that.
One of the influential president around Barker.
Good try. This is the Sunday show. I want to say it's fiery. So you're not going to get that from me. Let's move on. Next question.
At some point, we will get to this. So let me come in with my two questions. Ketema, thank you very much. How is Bapolu?
You're not asking a question already now. You're not asking a question. I'm just kidding.
Bapolu saying that I should make this. I should make Bapolu the first. How is Bapolu right now? Give us a quick overview. Since you talk about
Bapolu County, first of all, shout out to them, and I always thank them for giving me the opportunity to serve. But my country is my county is in dire straits. It's one of the poorest counties in the country. Education attainment is very low. Only 2% of our girls are graduating from high school, and all of the schools were abandoned. 23 out of our schools are not working because they have no teachers. From last time, teachers were retired, they were not replaced, and then volunteer teachers came in. The parents could not afford to maintain them, so they left. We have to reopen those schools. And then the healthcare system is in tatters. I am focusing on the hospital, the Emirates Hospital, to make sure that we understand some of the issues there. So 2 weeks ago, I visited the county. I spent a week there, touring schools, visiting with the CEOs, all of the institutions, the Emirates, the security sector, the service center, the bank, etc., so that you take a diagnostic approach of what needs to be fixed, in the county. And I think we are at a place now where we understand some of the binding constraints that we need to relax in order to bring relief to our people. The other thing that is going on in Buffalo is that we now have a complete local government team now, thanks to President Barkai for listening to us on that. The approach we took was that we gave the local leaders, the citizens, the women, the youth, etc., the opportunity to recommend people they believe could work with them, to improve some of the living conditions there.
Thank you.
And the president did not hesitate to appoint those people, for which we are grateful. So we have the government in place. We've visited the institutions. Our yellow machines are in the country from China that was approved by the previous project management committee county sitting. We're going to do our own, roadworks in our county. So Buffalo is at a better place, and we look forward to improving the lives of our people.
Thank you very much, Senator Konneh. Let me ask within Buffalo, the hospital, is it operating?
The hospital is operating. I visited. I posted on my page. Patients were there, but for their privacy, I did not show them the equipment.
Let's talk about the power issue. Is it flowing freely? The LEC, the generator.
No, Buffalo is not on the grid. The generator is there, but the consumption is high. We are thinking about, keeping it and also putting solar lights on the roof in order
to have the credit of the hospital? George Manawiya, Madam Salih, Joseph Walker. Who you give credit to?
President Weah. We give the credit to President Weah for getting it done. The hospital is a modern hospital. That hospital can be a regional hospital. I saw all the imaging machines there, the scanning machines, and also nice rooms, but we don't have the people with the capacity to operate some of the machines. That's what the hospital administrator and the head doctor told me on my visit. So we now need to advance our bilateral engagement with India, with Morocco, and so on, to see how we can do exchange program for that hospital to work. This is our focus now.
Thank you. Let me squeeze in something from Buffalo. You ran against Paul Kennedy and other folks. Paul Kennedy,
your friend?
Yeah, Paul Kennedy, my brother, my friend, we ate Chinese food together. Correct. He said the only reason why you won is because you truck a lot of folks into Buffalo. I want to give you the chance to clear the air on this one.
I don't know if Paul is normal. I don't know if he has recovered from the defeat.
You don't know if he's normal?
No, I don't think so, because up to now, I reached out to him after the election as citizens to try to sort of build the bridge, reconciliation after it. He's never responded. So how can somebody be normal and educated, live in America, soundly educated, and behave like that? How can someone like Paul, who lived in America, a beneficiary of the civil rights struggle led by the late Martin Luther King, go to his chiefdom, a chiefdom that is named Bundi Madingo, with a Madingo name, and told his people there not to vote for a Madingo man? He's a bigot, he's a tribalist, and somebody like Paul is terrible for our politics. That's what he did.
Wow.
Yes.
I'm gonna let that go, but again, I needed to ask that because
Madingo chiefdom in Bopolu district is where Paul is from. He's from Sapema. Paul's campaign slogan when he realized that he couldn't win was to tell his people not to vote for a Madingo band. And they did not vote for me. When you look at the record, I lost Bopolu. Bopolu has Konneh, Sharif, Dukle. It's all Madingo names there. But because of migration, they cannot speak Madingo. Paul exploited the vulnerability of these people and told them that I was not a traditional man, meaning the poor society man, and therefore they should not vote for a Madingo man. Paul said that. That's the campaign, the negative campaign he ran against me. Paul went further to my hometown and told people that the reason I left the World Bank is because I stole money from the World Bank to do my farm. But that's politics. I just want to expose the Paul Kennedy, your friend you ate Chinese food with, you, who lived in Maryland, went to school in America, a beneficiary of the black struggle in this country, who should know better to unite people across tribal lines, preach tribal politics in a search for political power.
Did you truck folks to Buffalo to vote for you?
I did not. Citizens, look, let me tell you something. I come from Wiswa clan. Wiswa was one of the heavily populated places during, before the war. Wiswa Airline is named after where I was born. The whole airline was named after that place because of the population and the diamond business that was there. My father was a miner. All right. So in the war, a lot of massacre happened there. It's in my memoir that I will be releasing midway in this administration, and people can speculate whether I'm going to use it to launch campaign or not. But I'm going to release it. I'm going to describe to you vividly the massacres that happened there. The survivors of the massacres there that are in Monrovia and other places are the ones who return home to vote for their brother, to vote for their son, so that they can have a stake at the table in Capitol building. What is wrong with that? Is that
So
true?
my question again, you did in truck, but you were able to transport folks from around the country to Buffalo. Is that correct?
On their own. I'm not going to lie. I did not talking about it. They transport themselves. Did I help them? Did I give them gasoline or something? Yes, I did. But those people went there, mostly from my ethnic group, went there and they lived there. They have residences there, but they were chased out because of the war. Most of their homes are broken down, so they had to go there to vote for their brother that they play in the same way, that they swim in the Lofa River with. And I'm proud that they did that.
But you said you helped them to get there some way, somehow.
Of course.
Okay, but you did in truck.
They want to go back home. Let me tell you. Let me give this context. Let me give this context. When I returned to Liberia as Minister of Finance in 2008, 2009, 2010, I went on a pilgrimage to my home place. Bad road, nothing with these people. Caravans of pickups at the time. We went there. We did our own Palava Hall discussion to talk about the massacre, the rape, and so on. Care about 2 cows. And after 2 days of discussion, of asking each other for forgiveness and honoring those who tried to save the lives of the Mandingos there before they were massacred, that's how close I am to my place. These are the same people who came back to vote. There's nothing wrong with that.
Thank you very much, Senator Konneh. Go ahead, Abdullah.
Yeah, so I'll do a segue from that question. I wanted to ask similar questions, but look, you've been in the Senate. The Liberian legislature is one of the most unpopular institutions in the country. They're very unpopular. People think that they pay themselves too much, they enrich themselves too much, and the ordinary people, there's no been expansion of their wages. Ordinary people, there's no trickle down effect, and people feel that these people sometimes think more about themselves. You went there. I have some list of people that I actually admire and respect in the Senate, in the House as well. Did you receive the same pay the other folks have been receiving? Did you receive the same pay? 13 point something million dollar project for a project. Did you approve of that? Did he approve of some of the broken systems that are being sustained by these votes, these actions? What was your position on them? Did you say, no, I'm not going to take a pay? I'm a reformer. I came to clean house. I did not come to be part of the status quo. I came to challenge the status quo. Did you take the same pay? Did you take the same benefit? That's my question to you.
All right. So the monthly compensation for a senator that I know, which I have published on my page over and over, I believe is around 10,000 per month. Minor social security and tax deductions, it comes somewhere around 7,000 and some change. And then that's paid, I think 5,000 in Liberian, in US dollars, and then 2,000 plus in Liberian dollars. That's all I know about compensation. And they give us about $2,000 worth of gasoline. I've talked about this. Is it too much? Yes. But can I alone change that? No. It's 30 of us and it's 73 on the other side. We will have to work on that. To their credit, the speaker and the pro tem, behind their leadership, they've listened to us. We've managed to reduce the legislature's budget from a whopping 90 million that was spent last year to just under 50 million, I believe. Or a little bit more than that. Yes.
50 million.
So you're talking about almost a 50% budget cut. The legislature does not, explain itself well. That's number one. I think the public needs to know that. Number two, this legislature, behind these two leaders, are now more flexible and open to transparency by inviting the GAC in to begin to do systems audit to prepare the legislature for an audit. I think this is small progress and we should embrace it. The other thing we should embrace is that this time, instead of just taking all of the senators' budget and put it on our operation, we insisted, a few of us insisted, that it must be transparent. Let the public see how much is being spent on each senator to be a good senator, to have a working office, to have a staff, to make sure that they can visit their constituencies on break, etc. Let's do that. So we are waiting for the final budget so that everybody can see that. For me, reforms have to be gradual. You can't over perturb the system and then crash it. This never happened for the last 18 years. So now over the last 4 months, you see these gradualism, and I think we need to sustain them so that we don't overwhelm the system. The other thing that we need to do in that Capitol building is image management and also full transparency. What is wrong with telling the country this is how much we are spending on each lawmaker, and let the people either say it's too much, reduce it, or yes, when you consider all the pressure that are on lawmakers, this is reasonable in the general scheme of things. But when you keep them to your chest and you don't run an open government, this is what happened. I think that's what is happening here.
But Senator, you could have taken a moral stand and say, I'm not receiving the salary because it offends our people conditions. You could have said, I'm taking a moral stand.
No, you're right. I could do that based on informed data on the reaction of the people. Yes, some people complain that the lawmakers are paying themselves too much, but at the same time, the beneficiaries, most of them who come for scholarship, for hospital, for this, for that, all across the country also believe that what the senators or the lawmakers are doing for them is okay. At some point, we need to come together as one government to really address this issue of compensation. You know, what is, for example, my office, the highest paid person in my office is $1,000 or less. Somebody said it was something when you take taxes from there. The lowest paid person is still something. What kind of capacity can you get with 1,000 to help you? Like now we're doing investigation on MedTech and CTN and the $83 million borrowing at the central bank. I have become my own secretary, my own researcher, because there's confidentiality around it, but also professionalism. So where do we get the resources from to attract people like yourself and others to come and work in the legislature to help us become good legislators? I think this is where we are, but Kantaba, your issue and the concern of the Liberian people are in place. I believe that both the House and the Senate must come together sometime during this session to talk about the future of compensation, not just for ourselves, but for our staffers.
So I would like to ask you, many see you as a resourceful and a thoughtful leader on a wide range of issues. And 3 things I think have been concerning, has been trending in the country, and the reaction has been mixed and sometimes very emotional. Right now, we have what is trending is the yellow trucks. Everywhere Facebook, the most popular picture on Facebook timeline is the yellow truck. You posted today about a yellow truck. It was kind of a detail and that you're trying to worry about the parallels between Igbo man and all of that happened during George Weah, the justification, the relaxing of the rules around procurement. It's a whole layers of problem that are piling up and that are worrisome and disturbing. It raises new questions that challenges the experience of what all these people have accumulated. They were the experienced people. They were the solution. So on the issue of the tenure, we saw the exchange. Delon was here the other time. Delon said he was very disappointed. He was disappointed because he felt that the way it was headed was wrong. But people are asking, but Amara is the messenger now. Why Amara cannot publish his assets? Why Amara can only declare his asset? He can't publish the asset. Maybe that 400 million post again. You want for to see him, man. Release your assets. Publish your asset. Let the people see your assets. What is in that asset now? You know what I mean? You want somebody to beg you for the money? Why can't you publish the asset? Amara, maybe the messenger is the messenger is undermining the message. by not publishing the asset. So his role as a reformer is being assaulted by his failure to be an example, to be the trailblazer, to be the change. What's your response?
A lot of people on your post today told you to ask me that question. And I have answered that question multiple times, and I will answer it again. First of all, there's no law in Liberia that requires me to publish my asset. Okay? That's number one. The president did not publish his asset. Nobody's asking him, why me? Number two, I said the last time when I appeared on Spoon that a portion of my asset, which has to do with land on my farm, need to be resurveyed, to assess the value. The survey has just been completed. The assessment of the value is ongoing. When that happens, I will be the first to publish my asset on my website so that it can get more visitors, because that website is there to inform the people. And you will know. What I will not do is to do the right thing the wrong way. When I rush because I want to respond to I want to react to public sentiment and publish half information and later come on to update it when it's not the period for updating, then I will be setting myself up for uh, uh, for failure, or maybe for more questions on my integrity and so on and so forth. So I'm just appealing to everybody who are so curious to know how much I'm worth. I don't have a lot of money, but I will show you what I have. And what I did in my declaration to LACC was to show the source of all of my income from the time I was in government all the way to the World Bank, so people can see where my wealth came from. I will do that, Brother Katamba. On the first issue that had to do with the yellow machine, my position on that is this. First, I welcome the initiative. I think it's bold, it's visionary. The country needs it. That's what I said in my post, and I want uh, my friends in the regime to know this. I just want you to know that the Alliance senators, Yombly, DeLon, and I have been working closely together. And I want to welcome Senator Yan Toyen from Nimba County, who is also a member of the Alliance. We have others who are independents that align with us, um, but the coalition senators really have not been opposition senators in the first 100 days. So I thank them too for supporting our agenda. But I just wanted to say that um, it's a good initiative. It's something good that should be managed well. We should not allow a good thing to be soiled by the lack of transparency, by the lack of full disclosure. The country needs it. My county, Buffalo, needs it. We need the road. The bar road issue is not just, in the southeast, but we are a country of laws. We were in the opposition. We we complained about the way President Weah was approaching this coastal highway as the justification for the engagement with Iboma and Ethan. And then it turned out that it was not what the public was made to believe. It was scandalized from the beginning. And in development financing, the moment you scandalize a project from the beginning, it raises doubt in the financiers. So the risks and all of that, political risks, are all factors that go into lending decisions. So I think it was premature for our government to release a 3D video to raise the appetite of the country for what the country really wants without providing details. That was a fumble. It doesn't mean that nothing is happening. It just means that you now need to be on top of your game in terms of the constitution, which requires the legislature to, ratify the loan, etc. If this is a loan, and if it is a grant, it would be good to give full disclosure on the conditionality, if there are any, so that we don't tie any of the country resources to something like this without the country knowing. So it's a whole slew of things, and I don't just I don't talk, I don't criticize, if you will, but offer solutions. And I think President Barkai is going to do the right thing. and he will inform the country about what's happening. Just that I try my best over 48 hours to get some details from them, but nobody will give me any details. It was only Senator Dillon that I reached out to yesterday. He promised to get back to me today. He gave me an unofficial version of what's obtaining, and that's unofficial. I can't hold on to that. So as a senator, I was compelled to ask my questions publicly today, which I'm going to turn into a letter to the pro tem and plenary so that we can engage the executive to make this good idea work consistent with our laws.
Okay, the tenure. You didn't talk about tenure.
The tenure was a disappointment in all of us. We talk about this, our frustrations, those of us who consider ourselves rescue senators. It's what we're trying to prevent in the transition, like I said earlier. It could have been done better, but it's something that really soiled the transition. And for the Supreme Court to disagree with the president on the law in the first 100 days is not victory.
Okay, I just want to do a quick follow-up. I'll stand there, hold on. You said something that caught my attention, and that is, I declare my asset to LACC, but I can't publish it because there's something descriptive. So when you declare to LACC was not accurate then, because there's still one issue.
No, no. I took it to LACC. I declare my asset. I declare my asset. No. I declare my asset to LACC.
You declare asset to LACC, so you believe in what you declare. It must be accurate. If you did not do an accurate declaration,
I did not. I declare my farm, the value of my farm.
What you declare?
Are you hearing me? Will you let me talk? I heard you. Let me answer your question now.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay. I declare my assets to the LACC, the asset that I was going to publish. The officer who received my declaration went page by page by page by page. When we reach on the page where my agribusiness is declared with the sources of financing for it, the liabilities, and so on and so forth, and the land, he said, you will have to give us the acreage so we know the exact demarcation, the size of the land, and so on. And then you send it to us as an attachment, an addendum. That's what she said. She didn't say that the declaration was flawed and wrong. No. And my declaration is detailed. My bank statements are there. My retirement accounts that I have in the U.S. are there. Money that was moved from my World Bank, pension to that account. Everything is there. I got nothing to hide. Just be a bit patient, and I'll publish the addendum. I'll give the addendum, and I'll publish it.
Okay. Senator, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Senator Amara Konneh. Folks, we have the senator from Bapadu County, Senator Amara Konneh. Again, like we said, if Ketama asked him 2-3 questions, it's because of how we designed the show. Don't question and say give your co-host a chance. We got to push Senator Amara Konneh to get the best out of him. This is one-on-one with the CEO and Ketema. We're going to try our best to get more out of Senator Amara Konneh. Now, if you have your question or your comment, please post it that we can read it to the senator. Senator.
Yes.
I go back on the vetting something.
Yeah.
Please let me do. You had a chance, though. You and the rest of the 29 senators. Then it was 28 because Yatwine he will stay out there. Yeah. You had a chance to vet those people that were presented to you for confirmation.
Yes.
Did you guys do a good job?
I think we could have done a better job. But for me, it was a curve because I've never been in a situation like this before. Some senators push hard on the vetting to confirm to give their consent, their constitutional consent to the president's nomination, and some didn't. But all in all, Stanton, I think we could have done a better job in terms of more scrutiny, in terms of the needs of the country, assessing the needs of the country and the preparedness of those that the president sent to us. In some cases, which you don't know, in the spirit of cooperation, the Senate returned some people. And this is where I think we are responsible for our own poor public perception. When you take action, you announce it. There's nothing wrong with that. We're trying to make government work. Government is a messy business. And in that case, it was just done hush hush, and the president renominated. In some cases,
Sorry, the Senate
yeah,
returned them based on the fact that you took them through the confirmation and you rejected them? Or the
maybe
Senate returned them just
maybe
by
maybe
recommendation?
the process was wrong from the beginning. So instead of putting on the floor and embarrassing the president, it was sent back for the president to reconsider. So they didn't come to the floor, then reject, then done quietly. I hope you're understanding me. So in the spirit of bipartisan, I guess, senators were able to, do that, not to embarrass the president, which, is a good spirit, especially if you want to have a good transition. But in my particular case, I voted against three candidates, two of them at health, and also one minister. And so we could have done better in the future. I think the Senate should get its own vetting committee, technical team to review all the CVs, etc., the resumes, to be able to recommend to plenary people who have the right sets of skills to do the job, and then we can use that to inform our decision about giving our consent or not.
So just thinking in regards of the Senate vetting committee, the committee that was set up to do the Liberian people justice. We heard a lot of issue about we will revert to the nation, and that was a lie from Senator DeLong. I can say because I told him, when you come on the floor to present a case, the Liberian people case, and you say you will revert and you didn't, that was an issue.
Yeah.
You, Senator Konneh, on the issue of Councillor Gray from the Foreign Ministry, the deputy minister then, the president decided to keep her, but there's a pending investigation.
Who?
Councillor Gray.
Who is that?
What's her name? DeWard Gray, right?
Yeah, DeWard Gray, yes.
Yeah. So my issue.
Minister Gray.
Yes, yeah, but she's a councillor minister. Thank you. But my issue with her is that there's a pending investigation from the same foreign ministry, and you guys confirmed her. What was your position?
Well, I believe in consultation with Senator DeLong, the committee asked him to get a report from the NSA on this investigation. To the best of my recollection, the NSA provided the report, and I believe we decided not to confirm her. That's my recollection. To the extent she's confirmed, we have 30 senators. I will have to check my records on that, to be honest with you, and I will post it. It's good that you brought this to my attention.
Are you saying you guys agreed not to confirm her, then few bad senators confirm her? In this light, bad in the light that investigation is ongoing, but you'll care less of the investigation if you guys confirm her?
Stanton, I think that's my recollection on the Foreign Affairs Committee. We had a discussion about this. Senator Finley, Senator DeLong, myself at one point, and then a larger group. And the NSA was supposed to furnish us with the outcome of that investigation. And I think that outcome was not favorable. And so I'm just shocked now to hear that she was confirmed.
You are telling me that you didn't know that she was confirmed?
That's what I'm telling you. I will have to check with my chairman, DeLong.
They don't appear on spoon. He said there was nothing in the report to stop her from being confirmed.
I did not read the report. So if he said that, maybe I am twisting my response.
How did you vote if you didn't read the report? How did you vote? Did you vote yes or no on the confirmation?
I believe I may have voted no, but let me check my records and get back to you. There's so many confirmation. This is scanty for me. Maybe I should have said I don't recall, but let me get back to you on that. I will send you a text and you can post it. Let me check my record.
Thank you very much. And again, that's what we do on the show. We appreciate that answer, not to entrap you or any of our guests. Let me go to number 2 question. Bring us back to Washington, D.C. and this 60 million issue that you posted, please?
Well, the trip to Washington was not for PR purposes. It was a serious attempt to sell our country's, burgeoning democracy and our new president who led that effort. West Africa, we know the news coming out of there over the last 5 years have not been good on the democratic front. We are in a sea of countries that have been uh, staging coup d'etat in Guinea, in Burkina, in Mali, in Niger. So, and also Nigeria elections, the officials were sanctioned, Sierra Leone, and so on. In our place, President Weah, to his credit, was able to peacefully transfer power, graciously accept the election result in the interest of the country. And so we felt that this was an opportunity to actually sell that story. It's a positive story, uh, coming out of West Africa, a country that was a pariah just 18, 20 years ago. And we needed to go to our friends to say, okay, what is our new partnership? We've done everything we needed to do in terms of democratic governance, in terms of elections. So we need to have a new strategic direction. This president is inheriting an economy that is under stress, is inheriting a government that may not be broke, but cash flow was a problem. Uh, we needed we need money for him to be able to run the country, to clean the city, to pay the security, to pay civil servants, and so on and so forth. So that was our argument, and the argument resonated. So, for example, at the MCC, you will see movement going there. The second compact is, there's a commitment for a second compact, but the work now has to be done. At the World Bank, they committed to helping us to raise that, to make that money available by moving some of the committed resources to Liberia for the President 100 day and beyond intervention, because the last administration had gotten budget support late. So the next budget support officially for Liberia is not wait to the end of this year. So we wanted them to bring that resources forward to give this president the headwind that he needed to set a strong agenda for the country. This is how development financing works. And so the commitment was there at the IMF meeting with the boss of the IMF. Is no joke. Kristalina herself, was thrilled about this, and talk about her disappointment in the way that the last program ended. I'm not here to, for my CDC friends to get vexed and all of that, but this is what happened. She said uh, the folks that were managing the economy took their eyes off the ball and focused on the economy, and it hurt the IMF program. So they help serious country. Quote, we help serious country. If you don't want to be on the IMF program, we would be glad not to be on it as long as you do the right thing and you don't need us. So there, she quickly instructed that the IMF team comes into the country before the inauguration to do assessment and so on and so forth. So this is what I was talking about. And then the next thing was, how do we get the remaining 40? Because our target was to raise $100 million in multilateral funds. So AFDB, our African Development Bank that Liberia helped to organize, became a destination, in that regard. And of course, the European Union that gave grants, they don't give loan. We could go there to tap into our democratic credentials and get them to accelerate their budget support for us. So all of these things are in a pipeline. I'm not saying that they're not going to happen, but the pace is going to be much slower than than anticipated, because the focus became on jobs and other things, which is okay. But maybe a smaller team in the president's office could have focused on this to deliver for him, so that he has a lot of money to do his 100-day interventions and and begin his legacy on a good footing.
So how did it collapse from Washington?
So let me give you a story. When I came to Washington quietly, the president was already here. I came to Washington quietly, and we organized all of this meeting. And with the president-elect's approval, I posted. I was on a train coming to Pennsylvania after 4 nights just hustling in Washington D.C. with friends there to do this. And I said, you know, president will begin his meeting. President-elect will begin his meeting next week. We'll meet with this, that. Immediately, colleagues in the transition started attacking that whole effort in the chat room. How I was bringing the president on an excursion trip to Washington, how IMF and World Bank would not do it for Liberia, and so on and so forth. They were not looking at the bigger picture of relationship building. There's something called networking, and there's something called partnership, okay, and relationship building. Our objective was for this president to build relationship before he took office, so that these people would be there for him in case the economy on the domestic front did not perform to our expectation, either due to endogenous or exogenous factors. They did not see it as something they could support. And I think this is where the whole relationship between me and them faltered. I never looked back. I kept pushing because we were already there. And some of them flew to Washington on their own to be part of the delegation. Our hosts were very clear. We don't meet with president-elect easily. And if we're going to meet with this president, we've committed, the delegation size has to be 6. That's it. Everywhere we went was 6. So those who didn't make the list, based on the president's own take, blame me for that, and they're fighting me today. Because
so the delegation is 6. So now the whole thing is, so we are not going to get 60 million, are we?
I think it's still in the pipeline. We can get it if we do the work. Yeah, if we do the follow-up, if we agree on the performance criteria, because this is not free money, as you know, Stanton. These monies have conditions, and the conditions are mainly to commit to good governance. And I hope that our people, the Minister of Finance, I wish him well. I understand he's not well. It's very unfortunate. He's a good guy. I think he will do a good job. And we all should pray for Boima, because the country needs him at this point. He is the midfielder for this government. He is going to be the one driving this. And the fact that he's not well now is very unfortunate. Hopefully he can come back and put the team together to go after these things.
No, so I think Boima he has bounced back. He's all of the country. Like we speak, he took a trip, he and his deputy minister spun around with that story. So Boima is
yeah. I'm happy to hear that, because we need him. The country needs him.
Yeah, he's attending the annual meeting of the African Development Bank in Kenya right now as we speak. So he's in Kenya.
Very good. The country needs him. We are in the rainy season. Rainy seasons in Liberia are less productive, and also the cost of living goes up higher. Families struggle, and then when you factor in the climatic issues of flooding, etc., it's a stressful time. This is the time that the economy struggles. So
let me break in. Yeah, thank you very much for wishing Boima Kamara well. We all wish him well. Yeah. Yes, the finance minister. Let me bring in what is happening now. Let's go back to Liberia. Ketema is going to give me at least one more question. MedTech.
Yes.
CTN.
Yes.
Let me just dive a little within my 30 seconds.
Yes.
2018 June.
Yeah.
MedTech, the issue, nothing in the budget. Everybody's sucking from MedTech. If I'm making a mistake, please help me, because you have most of the documents. Here comes CTN from Sierra Leone, Aminata, and her group. Nothing in the budget, but somebody making the money. Liberians people are suffering. When you send a piece of shirt to Liberia, you pay a lot of money. Lawsuit came upon MedTech, went up and down under the George Monoware government. The lawsuit said, no head, no tail, nobody knows what's happening. Now, yes, I will take. You have two forces. One group under President Bouaka supporting MedTech, another group under President Bouaka supporting CTN. One group saying we should keep MedTech and do away with CTN. The other group saying do away with CTN, keep MedTech. I don't want to go further You have the document. You were asked to chair this and investigate. Talk to Liberians to that, the outcome of MedTech and City and the way forward.
My response to that is to make an appeal to trust our ability to conduct an impartial, professional investigation to establish the facts. And we're almost there. What I can tell you is that the committee wrote all of the major stakeholders, the Liberia Revenue Authority, the Ministry of Commerce, the National Investment Commission, the Public Procurement and Concession Commission, the National Port Authority. And I have to thank our colleagues there for responding. They have responded with all the documents. While reviewing the document, we observed that we needed business registration certificates and copies of the how you call it, the business incorporation document to show ownership for each of these companies. That's what I can say now. I don't want to prejudice the outcome of this investigation. We will be presenting our report to plenary in the coming weeks.
Who own MedTech? I know you don't want to go further. Is that Angela Lace or is that her husband or ex-husband? Under
No
the
comment.
Liberian business registration, who are the owners of MedTech?
No comment.
On who's the owner of CTN?
No comment.
Do you agree with the recommendation made by Dr. Jada LRA and Commerce Minister Amin Modal that the government president Bwaka should consider keeping MedTech?
No comment.
You want to add to that, Abdullah?
Well, I think he said no comment, so there's not much we can get.
Yeah, I just needed you the time to continue.
I hope you realize that this is a serious investigation. The Public Accounts Committee is the integrity committee in the legislature. The Ways and Means Committee is the committee that really should have approved all of this in the 54th legislature. So our integrity is on the line. The way we approach this is the same way we want to approach the way we approach the reconciliation of the consolidated accounts when President Barker and President Weah gave different versions. So you will get the facts about this, whether laws were broken, whether the financing are consistent with our PFN laws, whether our procurement laws were respected, the public would know. I guarantee you that.
Yeah, I beg you, Abdullah. Listen, the senator got the right to say no comment, Bummy King. I just want to add, okay? If you choose not to answer, it's okay.
Yeah.
Senator Snow came on the show. He
Yeah.
called some names concerning MedTech. I want to play the clip, but I know you said no comment. That's no thing, so I don't want to. But I'm going to, drag our show in our mud. But again, we'll wait for your report on MedTech and CTN. But have you seen the recommendation by Amin Boda and Dr. Jala?
I read the letter that they wrote to the president. Yes, I've seen it.
Okay. That rest. Go ahead, my brother Ketama.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this section. Look, Honorable Senator, you offer a scholarship right after the election to those in the war room. What is the status of that scholarship?
No, I did not offer a scholarship. I served from a donor. That scholarship for, when we did the victory, the current Minister of Agriculture, who has deep links with the Chinese because he did his PhD there, whom I know personally, and we have worked together in our professional sojourn, was able to get commitment from the Chinese on those scholarships. And, based on our discussion that not everybody who worked on this technical side of the election to elect the president will get jobs. So we should target them for this scholarship. It was on that basis that I just announced to sort of inspire the young people who had worked with us to tell them that their new president and those who under whose leadership they supported him was thinking about them. Then it got scandalized, and next thing you know, uh, we are where we are. So I think that is now with Minister Nuta and the UP party.
Okay. Um, I'm trying to go to a point, but I'm taking a little journey with you. What's John Model in all of this? John Model, does he share your assessment of what is happening right now around
I think
the
John would be the person to answer that question. But I know where John Molu is. We're in touch. Before I came on the show, we communicated. We talk every day. John is a busy man, very serious, busy man running his firm. He's engaged deeply in public financial management reforms in Africa, particularly Ghana and Kenya. So he's very busy. He's running his firm and he's doing well.
now? This brings me to my main question. There's something about you and Powell that um, leads to some level of reflection. You helped Joe Weah to get elected.
Yes, I did.
You helped Joe Weah to get elected, and they treated you bad.
Yes, they
You
did.
helped Waka to get elected, and they treated you bad. It is a
Yes,
crest.
they are.
It is a crest of Amara. Wherever he helped people to get to power, he get punished for helping them to come to power. Is this something that has afflicted the Amara political journey?
No, not
Wherever
at
he gave
all.
power to,
Not at all. President Salif did not. President Salif did not. She
that's an
served two.
exception. That's 2-1, my man. It's three to one.
I come in. President Salif did not. She served two terms. President Weah did. He served one term. I don't know about President Barkai. And so let me say this to you. I am not a perfect guy. Nobody is perfect. But I am a deeply intense professional guy. Most people don't know that I have a soft demeanor, but when it comes to my professional ethics, etc., most people don't know that. I'm also deeply religious. Only my family will tell you that and my close friends. But my religiosity is between me and my creator. I don't put it on my face. When I believe in something, I believe in it, especially if it's the right thing to do. But I don't go around, quoting the Quran or something to justify that I am a faithful Muslim. But I am. Look, Liberia, I'm not proud of my country. I said it the other day when I posted about the water. I exercise a lot. That's how I handle stress and also read a lot. So I see people, children, getting water out of the open well in Monrovia in the 21st century. Something I did 52 years ago on Camp Johnson Road for my grandmother. Then I called myself Minister of Finance. So I decided to make water a priority when I was there, raised close to $60 million, but the people at Water and Sewer could not get the job done. That is why the vetting was, important. I'm glad that my small brother Mo Ali is there. I think he's going to do a good job because he has the experience and the education. He got a master's degree in water and sanitation that we helped him to get in England. And he worked in the sector. So it's the kind of thing that we need. In the 21st century, people in Monrovia should not be getting water from the well Abdullah. You know, we all should be ashamed of that. The Pupu water on the intersection of Gale and Benson Street should not be there again because I saw that when I was a kid. I used to hustle down there. You know, when I judge our performance as a government, these are the little things because not everybody will be able to get on a plane to fly, to see the airport, to do these highways we're building. They are necessary for economic expansion. But in terms of the quality of living, these are some of the things we need to focus on. So I'm not going to change. In the case of President Weah, we had a conversation, and that was it. I told him my views on governance, and people went and told him that I called him a dictator, and he excommunicated me. Nothing's fault. My life moved on. His life moved on. We are back, working for our country. I like to think that we are still friends. President Barkai fought for 6 years for this power. I made a commitment to him early on in that based on what happened in the 2017 election, that I was going to support him. I'm a man of my word, and I live up to my commitment at a time when I had won my own victory, and I was now free to think, to bring my thought leadership, my technical expertise and leadership to the process and help them. And behind the scenes, we did plenty of things on the financing side and other things. Most people don't know that. So nothing spoiled. It's about fixing Liberia. My job is my stake in electing these people is to be as honest with them as possible, and nothing will change that.
Okay, so I just do a quick follow-up. Some of your
Yeah,
critics, say well, you like to you like to take credit, you like to seize the space, you like to dominate,
yeah,
you like to be seen as you have a savior complex. You think you
yeah,
save everybody else, and
yeah.
everybody is you came to redeem everybody, and so
Mm.
that affects the way they see you. That affects the way they treat you. This is just
No,
plain
go
and
ahead.
simple.
I'm listening to you.
We are encapsulating the thoughts of some of your critics, and so that gives you a chance to respond to it because
Yeah,
sometimes people are listening to this interview and they say you want to be seen, you're obsessed with power,
yeah.
you got this messianic
hmm
preoccupation that you're Messiah, you came to save everybody else,
Yeah,
and you the clean guy, you the reformer,
yeah.
you're the change agent, everybody else is messy.
You still going?
I'm not going to stop him.
Well, they're dead wrong. They're dead wrong. I'm a winner. I hate losing. I've never lost in my life. I have my own flaws. But check my record from Bassa Camp in the elementary school there, in the one room building. Ask all of my classmates who went to school with me. I never, I, you know, I've never allowed myself to be a follower. I initiate things. Once I commit, I deliver. If you don't want to, it's like I want to remind all of you the whole Michael Jordan thing, like we were all watching during the pandemic. How you call it? The man, he released something and he said, "Look, ask all my teammates. I never told them to do anything that myself didn't do. I challenge anyone to say to you that Amara told us to do something that he himself didn't do. So I'm a winner, Katamba. I hate losing. My whole life, I've been grateful to God that He gave me the willpower to succeed when I had no parents. I did it on my own with the blessings of a few family members. So when I see myself in a situation, particularly a situation that I have found myself in liberal politics, in governance, I have to exercise leadership. And then everybody move on. But those who are saying, oh, I'm Messiah, I'm this and that, that's how they think because they're used to losing. I don't like mediocrity. All of my post high school education was done in America, where everything is based on merit. And my professional career started with an American company called the International Rescue Committee that was performance based. I came here, I did the same thing. My first job in Liberia was to be Deputy Minister of State for Policy.
Thank you.
So I brought that same, I brought the same professionalism and intensity that I know. That's what they train me to do. I don't know how to talk. I don't know how to sit down on a palaver hall
Thank
and
you.
talk politics. That's not my
So
style. No, I'm still going. That's not my style. I don't talk politics and talk, etc. I plan, then I go after my plan with discipline and I deliver. That's my
so
answer to that.
I mean to take off from what Ketema squeezed you out because he was going through. Are your present in the Senate? Are you helping to transform, to change the days to day, the everyday issue with the Senate, or that branch of government changing you?
No, the branch of government, I think I'm doing the first one you said, but you have to do it cooperatively. And some cases where when you push hard, your friends will come back at you. That some senator will say, "Oh, you act like you Mr. Clean and this and that and all of that." Then you have to slow down because that's not my intention if it is misinterpreted. If they bring something that I consider to be wrong or unethical in our meeting, etc., I speak up. And some people will support that, some people will go against that. The same thing in our chat rooms. We all feel safe to express ourselves. My intention is not to come across as the person who knows it all. I'm working well with Senator Dillon. I'm working well with Yumley. I'm working well with Senator Snow. I'm working very well with Creighton Duncan, with Momo Saros and others. So I'm trying to find.
Do you trust them that they have love for the country, working to transform Liberia for the better?
Well, and then if you ask them also if they trust me, I'm sure they will say we are giving each other the benefit of the doubt because we all came in through the same process. We are equals. And, the pro tem gave us the opportunity to talk about our vision, our experience in our campaigns, and what we would like to achieve in the 55th, legislature. People spoke from their heart, so I have to take people by that. Yes, are there frustrations sometimes? Yes. Could we be more robust and, in the discharge of our oversight responsibilities? Yes. But politics is not linear, it's dynamic. And I understand that. So in some cases, I'll stand my ground and win. And in some cases, I'll lose.
Have you won?
And,
Have you won anything you have stood your ground for in the Senate? Have you won?
Yes.
Well, what
yes.
are some of those things? So in the last 4 months, what are some of those things?
Well, for example, the issue of bringing in the GAC, etc., the pro tem allowed different views. Some people were like, oh, against it. And those of us who were championing that succeeded. I think that's a victory. That's an important victory we need to make happen now. And then the transparency around the money that the Liberian people spending on us there. Instead of saying, I don't want this, I don't want that, let us show the people how much they are spending on us to do the work on their behalf and then see how they react to that versus taking all the money and putting it on a one line call operation. And next thing you know, money is coming there and the budget is.
But it doesn't change when you talk about the money, Amara. The issue is that every district state receive, I believe, $100,000. Am I correct?
No, but that's different. That's different, though.
It wasn't the same thing from there.
I'm talking about.
Can you press on this, sir, please? We left from the 30,000 to each senator. Now it goes to a district 100,000. What's different?
What's different is that this 100,000 is not for senators. It's not for lawmakers. It's for district development. All right. To me, that's a good way to sort of get the service centers going. That's a good way to finance some of the areas that will require intervention outside of the executive. I think it's a good thing if it's properly managed because the legislature, when the president sent the draft budget to the legislature was able to find additional resources by working hard. We worked hard on that budget, and we insisted that most of that money should go back to the districts and the county. And I think that's a good thing.
I can squeeze you one very quick. Yeah, let me squeeze you one. Amara, you think George Weah was grateful to you?
Well, I did my part as a friend. I did my part as a loyal friend. We call each other Polo. I never betrayed him. I supported his ambition. He did not support mine. He promised me that he would support me to become senator of Montserrat County, and he let me down. And then it went down from there. So you be the judge. The jury is out. I'm not complaining. I never complain. All I wanted, like I've always said, is to support leaders who will move Liberia forward. And when I see that you're not doing that, I don't care what kind of name you call me. Just do the right thing. When you do the right thing.
So he wasn't grateful to you. Do you think Joseph Boaga is grateful to you?
Uncle Joe is my traditional uncle. I'm being a good nephew by highlighting some of the things that his people may not be telling him or showing him. And it's too early to judge whether there's a quid pro quo here. I have done my part, and I'll continue to do my part.
Do you think he appreciates you?
I think so.
Thank you. Thank you. Go ahead, Ketamba. Thank you.
Yeah. So far, so good. Listening audience, you listen to the hottest Sunday show. On the hot seat is the guy. You see the guy saying that I can presidential. We'll come to that issue. No, so the rice issue.
Yes.
The people believe there's a cartel in Liberia on the rice issue, and I want to have a twin issue: rice and agriculture. And I think it speaks to both. There's a cartel here, and they put a price tag on the bureaucrats who's supposed to be basically have a fiduciary responsibility to oversee the operations. And every time this crisis will crop up, there have been no long-term solutions, just a quick fix, a patchwork. And do you believe the initial steps of this government, did they handle this well? And what is the long-term solution? Tell about the potential of the cartel. An issue of agriculture, how do we do a long-term solution? The whole process, there's a whole ecosystem, not only addressing short-term rights challenges and crises, but finding a long-term solutions that address the issue, for long term.
It's an important question, Abdullah, and I'm glad that you asked it. I would you give me 3 minutes.
Sure.
The rights issue, the issue of the cartel is real. I want to establish that they're very strong. The picture you saw the other day in the mansion with the rice dealers meeting with the president says it all. Okay, they've been in the business, successive administration. You will recall when President Weah took office, the rice became an issue. He did his best. There was a stabilization fund that was poorly managed, and they did not solve the problem for President Boakai. When President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf took office, her Minister of Commerce then also struggled with the cartel. She was not part of the system coming from outside. She tried to break the cartel. The cartel fought back and lost that battle. So yes, the cartel is for real, and nobody should think that breaking it is going to be easy. So when I was Minister of Finance, we proposed a two-pronged approach. One is to make sure that this fear that the cartel and their allies in the government has instilled in president about the political nature of the commodity rice, because 1979 the rice riots, and 1 year later the president was killed. Don't play with rice, don't play with rice. It's a farce. You need to fix it, and the way to fix it is to open the market up gradually. The fluctuation in the price of rice is mostly external. India, Thailand, and Vietnam are the main producers of rice. China to some extent, but they don't allow massive exports. So say, for example, you set the price at 18, and then at times when the price goes up by $1 or so, you subsidize it. This is bad time for the government and the people, but good time for the cartel. Then if external condition adjust downward, where the rice is supposed to be sold for maybe $16, $17, you allow the cartel to sell it for 18, then the difference goes into the fund. You use that money to start an agriculture bank to support long-term agriculture. Number two, we have reserves. It's not the biggest, but more than 200 million sitting down in New York. It's not doing nothing for us, but waiting for crisis to happen before we can call it. All right. You could go into that reserve, negotiate with the IMF, take a chunk of it, and then set up this agriculture bank in partnership with some big money person. All those people who are giving us machines, etc. They could invest in the long-term prosperity of our country. But that proposal was dead on arrival in cabinet. Again, the same thing. He's trying to be the savior. He wants to be the Messiah, and so he thinks he knows everything, and it died. I still have it. I have reached out to my brother, Minister Amin, the other day with specific points to him in WhatsApp. He acknowledged the points. He said these are some of the things they were thinking about, and I told him that when I come back, I will sit down with him to share my views to help him and his team help the president deal with this problem.
Well, honestly, I appreciate your answer. This is personal to me, and I just would suggest to you, please help on this matter because I think it is important. This is different. But before I leave to Stanton, because I know Stanton got a whole truckload of questions. You say the one question they ask 10 questions, but
You know, a whole network of generating questions on the fly.
but on a serious note, Senator, look, 2029.
Yes.
We're taking off. You no longer guess.
Can I hold you and just finish up with the rest issue?
Okay, no problem. Go ahead, Senator. I'll take it back. Go ahead.
Yeah, let me finish up with the rest issue real quick, Senator.
Yes.
Right now,
Mhm.
rest price on the market is around $19 and change. Ami said the rest price will be $18.50. The president said not on my watch.
Yes.
It's going to be 2 weeks.
Yeah.
What do you think? Rest price, $18.50, $19, or not on the president watch?
I think the president should listen to his economic team, not just one person or a few individuals. Bring the economic team, the secretariat of which is headed by the Minister of Finance, to review that executive decision so that it does not cause severe shortage in Liberia during the rainy season. It will be a problem because here is a demand and supply issue. Here is also an issue that, to a large extent, the importation of it is monopolistic. So you can shake it too much now, especially you're coming from an election. Your transition is still very young and fragile, and you're going into the toughest season in your economic cycle, which is the rainy season. Listen to your economic team, and if I was asked for my opinion, I would propose that you work with the so-called cartel. If the price now is about 50 cents or $1 above, put a proposal together. Let's finance the difference. Like I said earlier, this would be the bad time for the government and the country. And then when the price adjusts or so, you sell it and then you put the difference in the fund. Then we begin now to raise the money to start a bank that would do agriculture lending for mechanized business. Then you
What's your
start,
message?
yeah.
And also, what's your message to the Liberian people with the rice price? Your final message on this topic. Are we still saying that though the president said not on my watch, but rice will be
I
increased?
think the president saying now on his watch may not work because of demand and supply, and also the source of the rice. If the price, as they are saying, is higher from the source, then so what you will see is that the rice that is on the ship now or in the warehouses, they may sell it based on the president's mandate. But for how long, Stanton? When that finishes, for the importers to bring additional rice in the country, they're not going to bring rice and sell it at a loss. So we need a roundtable. We need a serious, deep policy discussion to advise the president appropriately and talk to the Liberian people so that you tell them what's going to happen. When they know what's going to happen, they are most likely to work with you. Don't
So
hide anything.
are you saying that rice price will not go under $16? Are you? Can you tell us? Will we
I
ever see
don't,
rice price under $16?
from an
You served as finance minister before. You follow
yeah,
the world market. You know what's happening out there.
from
Will
an
we see rice
economic
price below
from,
16?
from an economic view, from an economist view, when you factor in all of the variables and how the sources of our rice, I mean the origins, India and other places, prices are going to go up in the short term. How we respond to that is the issue of policy discussions. I cannot tell you now what the president's economic advisors are, what kind of regression analysis they are doing. I remember in 2008, President Salif dispatched me from Harvard to Thailand when there was the food crisis. And I went out there quietly, you know, uh, made things happen and connected the right people locally, and they were able to help in many ways. There are G2G interventions here, but will require strong diplomacy that we need to do. We can tap into that. But in the short term, prices will likely remain stable at this price, but sometime in July and August, we may see the prices go up, and it's time to prepare the nation for that.
Thank you very much, Ketema. You're muted, Ketema.
Muted.
Ketema, you're muted. You're muted, Ketema.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
You're good. You're good.
Senator, we're going to go fast on this. It's going to be a triple questions wrapped in one.
I thought it was 1 hour 30 minutes. It's been 1 hour 30 minutes, dude.
No, I thank you very much.
Abdullah, they're checking for me. That's why.
Man, for the people, man, the person will keep the man. What more do that choice now?
Okay, go ahead. Yes.
So, I mean, you sound like a truth teller, determined to say the truth so the right thing can be done. So, whatever initiative trickle down to the ordinary people, give us an honest performance from a letter grade of the 100 days based on the analysis. A, B, C, D, E, F, a letter grade performance of JMB, 100 days. Let the countries listen to you right now. Thousands of people are listening to you. People in Bapolo want to hear the senator, be the real truth teller he is. This is your chance, my man. Speak.
Well, I think you got me on this one. I'm not in the business of giving letter grade to government. I'm a number guy. Like before I came here, I had commissioned a polling across the country. I will tell you about my finding. This is personal to give me a sense of what voters are thinking about their new government, their new president. And I think it's 50-50 at this point. Most people, when you do a deep dive, say give him chance, he just came, etc. But the euphoria that they had before the inauguration is waning, and I think the president needs to know that, and make sure that it doesn't go any further, particularly as we approach a tough economic season where things will be
English is going down.
Yeah, it's going down. Yeah, it's going down. Thank you. And so 100 day is not really the time to gauge or to measure how a presidential term is going to perform. But what it does, that it lays the blueprint and the solid foundation to say this is what we're going to do. I think they put out the blueprint. It was a lot, it was a laundry list of things that they themselves knew could not be accomplished in the first 100 days. But to give the president credit, he was able to keep security after initial fumble of scandalizing the security sector with NSA audit, EPS audit, and then the near mutiny in the military. He managed to handle that. Now we begin to see some stability there because that's important. Security is important for economic growth. And, we hope that we'll continue to address the concerns of the men and women there. The other thing that clearly they didn't do well on is, of course, the whole transitioning. The tenure thing was badly managed for an experienced president and an experienced minister of state who was at the helm of this. To me, that was not progress. So it created a lot of distraction that could have been channeled towards other efforts. But so far, I believe that they have more work to do now because of the slow pace, at which they started this journey with all of us, and we stand ready to support them.
So I just want to ask another question. And now we're shifting you from a guest to an analyst. What's your perspective on the state of the opposition?
You know, we just concluded 100 days, so I'm still waiting to see the Liberian opposition. I thought that the opposition was waiting for the 100 days before they start to do real opposition work. The opposition work is to point out, the missteps, the flaws, and so on, but also offer suggestion. But it's clear to me that um, the CDC coalition was only strong when they were in power. I think they're trying to rediscover themselves. Uh, I think they are still angry with each other. Some people became the beneficiaries of the largesse of the president. Some people felt left out. So they are waiting for a leader to bring them together. I see that also in
They
the
are waiting for a leader.
yeah, yeah, I think so, and I can qualify that. President Weah may be their leader, but he has sent conflicting messages. I'm talking as an analyst, as my
Yes,
brother
Yes.
has.
No, we
You're
like that. Sure.
going to pay me for that.
yes, you're analyst.
Sure.
I'm
No, I
going to
love
pay
what
you
you
my
said.
bill.
They're waiting for a leader as if to say that they do not have a leader. That's
Yeah,
a great point.
Yeah, the reason
there's
is
not
that
been an
President
analyst.
Weah
The
has
analyst, the guest gone. The
yeah,
guest gone. The
President
analyst,
Weah has sent former President Weah has sent conflicting messages to his supporters and his base. I will run. I'm tired. I'm retiring. I'm coming back. The party, So yeah, to me, that could be one of the contributing factors for the sluggishness in the main opposition. And of course, the Liberty Party, we know the situation there. I hope they can solve their problem. But let me conclude by saying that
how about Cummings? Cummings.
Mr. Cummings may be reflecting on the entire journey since 2017. I'm not in touch with him. I don't want to speak for him. But when you go through this kind of difficult thing that he went through to try to bring the opposition together successfully first in the beginning, and then it collapsed towards the end, can have deep impact on your psychology and your own confidence as a leader in a volatile political environment.
I beg you, Amara Konneh, Senator from Buffalo County. Let's end this show. You are doing extremely well. I'm just reading everything people saying, it's up and down, but majority of the folks, I appreciate your presence on Spoon Talk tonight. While Ketema is disconnected, I hope you will come back. Let me ask my one last question, and that's it. No
Okay.
follow up. We got to go. This question came from somebody, one of our many followers. They
Okay.
say, Senator Amara Konneh, you made this very big and disturbing statement in your article. You said, I am not bitter. I am disappointed that this administration, this president, has failed to inspire a worried nation. Now, their question. Tell Liberians listening to you tonight, where did President Vaca fail? List the main failures and tell us whether there are chances to fix them and what needs to be done. I took this question from thousands of questions, and I
Okay.
hope you can help us understand.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And I think I have repeated that on this show in terms of inspiring a weary nation. Uh, People need to know that there's a reason why President Weah had only one term. He did not govern to the expectations of the Liberian people, and so he lost narrowly. But a defeat is a defeat. So in that case, when you have a narrow victory, like President Boakai did, you're going to have to try to inspire the country so that some of the people who voted, uh, you know, for your opponent are most likely to join you quickly in this nation building process. We didn't see that in the inaugural address. It was revisionist. It talked a lot about history and so on and so forth when it should have been forward thinking. And after that, we have all of this job business where the expectation was that everybody should serve in government when a new vision could have been laid out to inspire the Liberian private sector so that the business people can see that there's a new day because their former president said that Liberians will not be spectators in their own economy, but then it went the other way. MedTech, CTN, everything else that Liberians can do to monitor their customs and their trade statistics, etc., are now being auctioned to foreigners. And the problem is that we Liberians don't like to see each other prosper. Would rather see foreigners come in the country to do that. President Barker could have basically taken some actions quickly, early on, to protect the country's image, but at the same time, just a few signals to Liberians that it's a new day. You would be a participant without even announcing it, and that's the kind of inspiration I was talking about. That didn't happen.
Senator Amara Konneh, when listen, we hope to have you again in the future. That was a beautiful show. Ketema is reconnecting. They have some internet connection problem. But listen, though, I will give you the chance. Take all the time you can to address your people in Buffalo as you close on this program. Address the nation on things that we didn't discuss. I know Ketema were waiting to ask that 2029 question. I will squeeze it in if you want to start out with your closing. 2029 President Amara Konneh.
Stanton, this question keeps coming up every time. Okay, you ask a question.
You invite a guest. The men of drink water. You say, "Memo go." What can I make you?
No, man, but he had other engagement. I mean, it's Memorial Day tomorrow.
No, Abdullah is my brother. He was urging to ask a question. Then the internet. I mean, the internet. I don't want to question. I'll still also you ask a question. I don't want you to get.
Yeah, but so let me just answer my question real quick, Abdullah. Then you will take us home with the question. Senator Konneh, 2029. I mean, I know you answered this on Spoon Talk. You wasn't clear. Are you in? Are you waiting to finish your book? Are you waiting to publish your book? Looking at what you have out there, will you be running against VP Jeremiah Kuhn if Joseph Walker say, "Listen, I'm done"? Your chances of winning against VP or George Manaway from the CDC?
I am not part of the camp that believes that President Walker is not a second-term president. I want to give President Walker all the space and opportunity to govern. I want to focus on my Senate work to help him within that governance. I hope he sees me as an ally who is being truthful and honest, hoping that he can succeed for Liberia. And I want to do well for my county, Buffalo, and my region. I want to work with my colleagues on the caucus to reverse the grimmy statistics on health, education, agriculture, and so on for my county, and also work with my colleagues in the region to make our region, a destination for healthcare, for learning, and for tourism. I'm telling you, this is my focus. If I do that well with the cooperation of my colleagues, and at some point, the Liberian people say that they would like for me to consider another office, then we would have the discussion at that point. But I am not one of those who want to jump over this president and be positioning myself to succeed him, because I believe that he has a good heart for the country, and with the right team, with the right advice, he can move the country forward.
It's political. It's political, Senator. I never disagree with you. It's political. I know. We've been on the show. I know I disagree with you, but this one I would not agree. But let me push you. Maybe you were slick.
I'm running for president. You would say that for me, Senator. No, don't say that.
Let me push you.
I disagree with what you're saying. I'm telling you what's coming from my heart. Then you say,
I understand, but let me push you. Maybe you will slip. I beg you, Ketema. Let me push you. Maybe you will slip.
Yeah, push him, man. Push him out.
You are saying if President Barker said, "Listen, I'm going for second term," you will not run. Am I correct? You will not run against President Barker. Am I correct?
I didn't say that.
Okay, so what you say now? If President Barker said, "I'm going for second term," will you run against him?
I'm saying that it's too premature to talk about succeeding President Bouaka. Let's give him the space to govern. It's too early.
Is it too early if President Bouaka say, I'm not running for you to run against Jeremiah Konneh?
I think it's too early to be talking about succeeding a sitting president. I'm not in that camp. When the time comes for us to decide that point, it would be driven mainly by the president's own proclamation that he's not running. And if he's running, it changes the dynamics. But I'm not going to say I'm running or I'm not running. What I'm saying is,
Senator Amara Konneh, so all of the questions to Ned was 98%. I disagree with it one answer. I know I will get it one day.
Let's agree to disagree on this one.
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead, Keteba, take us home.
Oh, look, it is clear. Amara is not coming this far to stay right here. Anybody knows that Amara will be naive to admit that he's running for president. I don't think no politician at this point will admit that he's running for president. So that is the obvious answer Amara giving. But so we got to read through the lines, and the people are listening to the lines. They compare all the killings. They see this guy. So the guys, no, I'm not going to run for president. The issue is, how am I going to build his alliance? Is Amara winnable candidate? Can he formidable? Can he construct his own political alliance for regional alliances, demographic alliances? Is he the symbol of?
Can he be outside of Buffalo? That's the question.
Can he be outside of Buffalo? Who could get allow with Prince Moy? Can Prince Moy get born county? Can you find somebody in a strong belt in Nima? Can he come to? So Amara is thinking. Amara is a strategic thing. Amara will not be thinking says here on the eve of says here. No, I'm not thinking way ahead. I'm not positioning himself. So I always say this. So this guy, the guy talking the Swiss political whatever.
Oh God! Oh Lord!
I'm on a serious note. There was an issue recently.
Yeah.
That Central Flag. The police are taking loans about 6 point something million.
Yeah.
LPRC is taking loan.
9.4 million.
Yeah, and then the Senator McGill actually called and said, "It sounds troubling." So, I want to get a perspective on that, honestly, on that loan issue, and then let's start with that on that loan issue. I think it's concerning and giving you financial expertise on that matter, whether it will spur other folks to believe budget is not enough. We have to go outside the budget and begin to increase the debt portfolio of the country. What's your thoughts?
Well, the same position that I have on the yellow machines applies to these two scenarios. It's just that these are a smaller scale. Does the police need additional funding? Yes. I don't know about LPRC. What they're trying to do is to expand their storage capacity. I don't know the detail. But as soon as I got word of the police financing, as I always do, which I have mentioned in my post over and over, I don't go public until I attempt to understand the issue from the other side, the executive branch from across the road. I immediately contacted my Crimson brother, the Inspector General. I sent it to him. I said, I just got this from a citizen. What is the situation? And I'm sorry, Gregory, I have to say that you promised to give me the details. It's been 2 weeks. I have no details from you. But I'll wait till I come to the country to engage you so that I understand. Because we just passed the budget. The issue of taking money against the budget may not be a bad issue, but in a predatory, corrupt society like our country, you want to be careful before you set yourself up for failure. There are costs associated with borrowing. And then what is that cost? Some people argue that the money they're trying to borrow is below the threshold. What is that threshold? And, it's in this part of the country, this, debt portfolio, which is at a high distress level. So it's important for us to remember that the $5 billion external debt that President Salih worked so hard in her administration, including President Barkai now, who was a vice president, to get relief for internationally. Majority of the debt was contracted by SOEs. People need to know that. State-owned enterprises, the APRCs of the world, the NPAs of the world, and so on and so forth. So when, an entity like APRC, and I hope my brother, the MD, doesn't see this as an attack on him, because it's not just, it didn't start with him. You're supposed to be profit generating. The war ended some 20 years ago. A lot of investments have been made to make you profitable. You highly paid dividend to the Liberian people as reflected in the budget. What are you doing with your revenues? So it's important to ask these questions so that we don't continue to borrow for small things when our borrowing space is narrowing. It's going to tie President Barkai's hand to borrow more money to do development work. Liberia really does not have more space to borrow anymore. So I was talking to a colleague yesterday in Washington, in a spirit of patriotism, to say, look, they say, will it be possible if I introduce you to the Minister of Finance? This guy worked on debt restructuring at the IMF, so that you can talk to our minister to begin to look at our debt and see if we can restructure it to create more space for our president to do more development work. And he said he will get back to me. So we need to slow down on the borrowing and then restructure the debt so that President Barkai can borrow big chunk of money to do impactful projects. That's my response to that.
Okay, so one last thing, and this is maybe an assessment. What is some of the ministers in the government? What would you some of the ministers that are performing well? Some people say, "Oh, Sarah Beslo Yanti is doing well." This other ministers. What are the 2, 3, or 5 ministers or 3 ministers that you think are doing very well, are impressive, or have begun a very quite impressive journey towards an ultimate destination that make all of us proud? What do you think?
It's tough because I have tried to refrain from sort of giving ministers assessment. But right now, on the surface, I think the foreign minister is on a good track to sort of build relationship. Still, we are waiting for the full foreign policy agenda of the president. Are we going to revisit our strategic relationship with the United States? We saw what happened recently with President Ruto in Washington. He crafted a narrative that Joe Biden couldn't run away from. So it tells you that Kenya has all of a sudden become an important strategic partner on the continent. And the announcements that were made to Kenya were not grant, were not to support their healthcare sector, was in the private sector, technology and so on. So to spur economic growth. So we hope that the minister and her team can work with the president and his team to put together a foreign policy agenda that is going to be driven by economic growth and expansion. I have good faith in my brother Wilmot Pay. He's a guy with integrity. We all know that. But he's presiding over a troubled sector that is close to my heart because my county, Bapulu, is a mining county, and all kinds of nonsense is going on there that is depriving our people and the country of much needed revenues. I think Wilmot over time will be a good minister of lands and mines, just because number one, he got background, in the sector. Number two, his integrity. I think that you're talking
I know
about.
you can. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I know you can't go through all
go
this.
ahead.
I beg you, still let me now. I beg you. Still I beg you.
It's 10 o'clock in Liberia. We gotta go. We gotta get ready. It's 2:20. You want to just squeeze that one last question, Abdullah, before we leave?
Let me please finish. I beg you. It's important. I beg you. Please hold on.
I think the the three ministers that have the biggest job on their hand, I have not assessed their assessment yet. The Minister of Finance, clearly he's taking over an economy that grew but generated less revenue. This is important. When you revenue generation is a function of the economy. When the economy grows, you should see corresponding growth in revenue. But in most cases, as we saw from the revenue forecast, 3 year coming from 3 year the history, we saw that revenue actually declined. Whether people took that money or what, we don't know. We're not there yet. GSC is doing some audits, but Boyman will have to reverse that trend, and I think this is where his success will come in, along with Double Jala. So they have a lot of work to do to clean up the system, to close some of the loopholes, so that that downward trend we observe under President Weah, as if the economy grew, can be reversed, so that the economy is expected to grow 5.3% this year, which is respectable. We should see the corresponding growth in revenue. The other minister that I don't know, two ministers I don't know too well, are the education and health ministers. The sectors are troubled. There's a lot of challenges there. Two competent women, the president has put his trust in to reverse the trend. In the rural part of the country where I come from, the hospital, the clinics were all neglected. In some places, the grass grew in some of them. The schools are closed. So it's a big challenge for the two of them, but based on their credentials and their presentations to us in cabinet, I have hope that they will do their best to reverse that.
The Honorable Amara Konneh, but you didn't name one of the most powerful position, which is the Minister of State. You had a letter out that you want him out.
Yeah. The Minister of State position really is important, clearly, but the engine of is the driver in the bus of this government that we are talking about. The engine is the Ministry of Finance. If it's not well oiled, you can't be a good driver, And the passengers, education, health will have to be well educated, well coordinated. The driver will have to keep looking at the rear view mirror to make sure that the passengers are not causing trouble, and that's the responsibility of
Well understood. What become of your letter?
The letter that I wrote along with Senator Dillon, a rescue senator, Stanton. Let's face it. Again, it's up to the Senate and the president. You can't have a president who ran an an anti-corruption agenda. Even before they take office, then you have a situation where we are using pensioners' money as slush fund to support the purchase of vehicles. Here in the United States, Social Security is a big deal. When the government takes money from Social Security, it's to support, education and healthcare and so on and so forth. And then, it increases the debt of the country, which is supposed to pay back. But in this case, we took pensioners' money to buy things that depreciate. They don't raise, interest in order to increase the wages. Let me tell you, since we wrote that letter, I've received 5 messages from people here in America who have their retired parents in Liberia saying that their pension money has gone down. Now, I don't have the facts. I have told them that I will meet with them so they can show me the evidence. Why should people fixed income decline? It's fixed income. When the government says this is your income in retirement, your pension, that's it. It should not decline. If anything, it should appreciate, because the government is supposed to invest that money in something that will generate income. Then the dividend go to the person and something like that. But we don't see that in our country, and this is where my frustration is coming from, my disappointment is coming from. That the Minister of State, a well-experienced bureaucrat, will actually write that kind of letter and then accept the vehicles when he collaborating President Weah on behalf of the president-elect to say we need additional vehicles. the president could have commandeered, vehicles from ministries and agencies through GSA to solve that problem versus getting brand new cars. So they should refund the money to protect our retirees so that they can get their just fixed income. They work hard for it. Whether they keep him there or not, that's the president's prerogative. But I had to flag it so that people know that something like this in serious country, the president will ask him to resign.
Yeah,
Thank you very much.
I say my man Stanton love Grace Benny. More than 200 minutes.
Grace Perry and myself come from Sano County together. So he's a brother. I want to say thank you, Senator.
Let me do a closing, man.
Yeah, we will. That's why I'm coming to. We really want to say thank you for giving us your time. And a lot of people have heard you. People are sending good messages here and there. I'm going to read one because I can't read them all. And then you can do your closing like this person. They don't want to be disclosed. They say good day and the blessed Sunday to the platform. I must admit that this Sunday one-on-one program is very smart and interesting idea. Thanks for bringing Honorable Amara Konneh on. I believe it is most important to many people. Once again, thank you guys for the brilliant show. Listen, you brought something different to this program, and a lot of people are going to go home with nothing but the best. We appreciate you on one-on-one with the CEO. Come again whenever we can and do your closing, sir.
Well, first, I want to thank you for inviting me. I want to thank my brother Kiatamba for being nice to me. I just want you to know, Stanton, that I became an accidental minister. President Salih discovered me, and I didn't want to, but she said no. All of my life, I've always taken on challenges, and you will go over there to the Ministry of Planning. That was basically a dump site. And I have been exposed to the politics, the governance in our country. I hold no malice against anybody. I just want to die and leave a better Liberia behind because I don't think I will live for another 53 years. I mean, I take that seriously. So to all of my colleagues that I'm working with in the Senate, in the executive branch, in the judiciary, I want you to know that I'm on a mission. And that mission is I want to retire on the Lofa River in Bassa Camp where I was born versus in Florida, which I can afford. So I want to make sure that I work with all of them to build a better country where we all can live in peace and harmony in our retirement years by creating opportunities for more people. So I look forward to an interesting 6 years of governance. I will continue to reach out to colleagues privately when I see issues. If they don't respond to me, then I have to exercise my constitutional responsibility by flagging those issues with the hope that they will see them and fix them. That doesn't mean that I have the best ideas, but I think in governance, consultation, inclusion is key in Liberia. A few people try to put the president in a bubble, and once the president gets comfortable in a bubble, then the ship is going to hit the fence. And when that happens, the people turn against the government. That's what we're trying to prevent here.
Thank you very much, sir. Have a good evening.
Thank you. You do the same. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, that's Amara Konneh, Senator Bob Content. A great show, a great presentation. Man, I took a lot of stuff away. Can tell me what mean?
It was deep. It was deep. It was deep.
We actually do 1 hour. We went on 2 hours 29.
Because the time went so fast, we couldn't even know what time ago. It just went so fast. I think.
So let's get into it. Check them out real quick. Mm-hmm. We all understand that Amara Konneh in this stint at 2029. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised. Maybe because of the investigation, no comment on CTN, no comment on MedTech. Surprised, but not saying that he's just going to let it fly. They are doing a thorough investigation. He's chairing that investigation, and therefore he want to be on the record what he presenting his findings. Am I correct?
Yes, but CEO, Meta and CTA is a disaster. It's a disaster. There's no debate about that. But I think he has to be careful because he cannot compromise the integrity of the investigation by prejudicing the outcome and by speaking about it. He's the guy handling it, and he could mistakenly say some details that he should not say it, and then people say, "Oh, he's biased. He's already took a side." So I think he did the right thing on him, but we know that his position before then. Let's take his argument from other issues and transfer it to CT and MedTech. The argument is that the process is flawed. The whole thing is a disaster. So basically, the outcome, you can predict the outcome, but I think it is a good thing that we allow him to maintain his integrity as chair of that process. And we're just trying to test and see whether we can squeeze something out of him. He put up a good resistance. He put up the guy know his stuff. So, I mean.
Right quick. Let's talk about this Paul Kennedy, our own friend on Spoon Talk.
Yes,
he's angry with Paul Kennedy, though.
Your antics on the show and cause confusion. You are troublemaker, my man. Do these people know who you are? Do they know they don't even know your shenanigans? So do that guy know? You saw what they did to Paul Kennedy. You know Paul Kennedy gonna fight.
No, it's not me. Paul Kennedy was no, Ketema. Let me fair now. Let me fair to
trouble, man. You trouble.
Let me fair to Paul and let me fair to Amar. Okay, Amar should have been given a chance long time to speak on this issue. Paul Kennedy is a friend. We ate from the same bowl. I didn't support him in Buffalo. I gave him airtime. I didn't support Amara either. But let me say this on the record. Paul Kennedy said Amara trucked people to Buffalo County massively. He's on record for saying that. He can beat me. The best thing to do is to give Amara a chance to respond. And I think it was a fair game, Katama. That Amara responded the way he responded, but he was very, very, it's like he was waiting for this question. Yeah. He went too hard on Paul Kennedy.
He went hard, though. He went so hard. Where Paul Kennedy is right now, he's just waiting for one microphone to speak.
I think he waiting for the mob. I think Paul Kennedy waiting for the mob because he went hard to call Paul Kennedy a bigger, to Paul Kennedy saying that. I mean, we had just cut that clip. James just caught it. And now, James, can you make it available? I mean, that's the clip trending right now on social media.
This guy. But on a serious note, though, I think that kind of language does not fit our politics. No, we one nation, different tribes. But I would leave my judgment on that.
No. You don't believe what Americans say that because you didn't. You have not heard from Paul Kennedy yet. You have not heard from Paul Kennedy yet.
Listen to me. I said I cannot pass a judgment at this moment.
But you said we can't. But you said later on that we shouldn't do this kind of politics. So it's like you limit on believing on Amara.
No, stand up. Don't put away my mom. I just smile for that thing. Listen, I preface my statement by saying I hope it is not true. I just can't conclude like that. I don't pass judgment like that. I withhold.
Well, how did Paul Kennedy go in the neighborhood and say, "Don't vote for Madingo man"?
I mean, let me talk and say.
No, because we got it. No. You see, I'm not afraid of anybody because we are all human, right?
Your man Kev Hassan is calling me. Why are you bringing me on? Why are
Kev is a good gentleman. He will do his thing. But let's go back on this. My issue here is that at the end of the day, the people saying that there will be no way in which Paul Kennedy would tell the people of Buffalo. And I don't know. I'm going to call Paul Kennedy. Don't vote for Amara Konneh because he stole money. Don't vote for Amara Konneh because he's a Madingo man. I don't think I don't know, though. I really don't know. Seriously. I'm getting heavy.
Senator, you don't want the G's to die. Let the G's die. Leave it in. But if I get you do that thing. This little guy, they got a G's king.
No, but let's go. All the stuff Paul Kennedy, all the stuff I'm not spoke about.
The maker has not responded on the point. I did not say that.
Folks, let me say this. And let's just say this. Let me just be clear. Sam Ketemba is responding. I mean, Kev Hassan is responding. And what happened is that Kev have apologized to Dr. Richardson. He will be speaking to AB when they solve all the problem. Listen, Spoon Talk is for everyone. I didn't say that Kev Hassan was coming on Spoon Talk, but if Kev Hassan make up his mind one day and say, listen, he won't show face on Spoon Talk, it's up to Kev Hassan. Let me say this, man. Dr. Richardson forgave Kev Hassan. AB forgave Kev Hassan. If that's the road they are saying and they fix the difference, I'm happy. I'm a peacemaker. Listen, people have said the worst about me, about my family. Kev Hassan, he's a Liberian, okay? Everybody that will talk behind your back and turn your face and say the worst about you, that Richardson and her family must forgive Kev Hassan. Madam Titi will make the decision as to who appear on the network. I am a former CEO. Kev Hassan reached out to me. I forgave Kev Hassan. We can talk. I don't want to talk about Kev Hassan's story. If he called me, Kev called me today, I will talk to him. Okay? I'm a Christian. I'm a human being. If he called me, I will talk to him. Okay? I pass all. Anybody call me, I will talk to them. Listen. But let's get back. Konneh was he was very strong. He fought a good fight. He said, I'm not in this to be partial. I'm not. Listen, something is happening in the Senate, though. Konneh said, and this is another takeaway, he didn't know that the word grade was confirmed.
That was shocking to me, Stanton.
People texting me right now. That's why I'm bringing it up. For him to say, I didn't know. I didn't know that they confirmed.
So that was shocking to me.
Talk to me, Ketemah.
And someone said, but why am I staying too long in America? And he's on the Foreign Affairs Committee. They're not, but he probably, the question caught him off guard. So he could not tell exactly whether he voted for her or voted against her. But in any case, look, CEO, here's what I'll say. If you listen to Amra today, he gave 50%. 50% is a failing grade. Basically.
For the government. You talk about the government.
Yeah.
50%, yeah.
It's a failing grade. Basically, he's saying they failed. What I did not hear, and I think we missed that chance to say, how can we rescue the rescue process? Because it needs rescue.
I don't think that he gave 50% for the mindset of failure, because the government just in 100 days, a little over 100 days.
It's work in progress. You describe where you are. You don't describe where you be. You're describing where they are. You're not describing where they're going to be. If they get to 300 days and score differently, he will describe that score differently. But at this moment, at this moment, he's describing 50%. 50% is a failing grade, basically. And he probably
but alas, Amara called himself. He said, maybe, I don't know. Maybe he had his cell phone going off. Maybe somebody texted him. Maybe. But to say that Delon did this and I didn't know to confirm the word grade, and to say that Liberians need to hear something, though. And that's why I asked the senator, are you helping to change the system in the Senate, or the system changing you? Because if you can tell us that all you believe that the word grace shouldn't have been confirmed, but she's confirmed, it's troubling to my ears. It's troubling to a lot of Liberians, because Delon said there was nothing to stop her from being confirmed. Abdullah.
But you know what shocked me? That dual grace even confirmed as a deputy minister of foreign affairs. It's still confusing me why she's even on the list. She was part of that broken system from the last government. She's part of the complete weakened and broken, dysfunctional foreign ministry. For to even be seen on the new list is shocking to me.
I think that's trouble Konneh, but he just couldn't throw Delon under the bus. I think it troubled him a lot, seriously. I saw that in his face. A couple of things he was forceful. The poor candidate issue, the word grade issue. He held back on CTN and MedTech. He spoke forcibly against Sylvester Grisby, and the reason why they wrote the letter. He went after a lot of different stuff. When you talk about the rest issue, he was that right. He said he believed it would go up on the same, if nothing, no intervention. He said rest price going up. Well, I mean, were you surprised? He said with no intervention, this thing probably going to go up in the rainy season, the rest price.
I'm not surprised the price will go. I'm surprised he said it. But he knows it. He knows it. And the one thing you have to notice that he also believes that people are not telling the president the truth about this issue.
Correct.
Because it's in a political game. They want the president to look good and say, look, by calling that meeting, it's a kumbaya movement. All the problem will fade happily away. Amara is saying, no, Mr. President, check your break on that. Something not right in the room. So Amara is sounding the caveat early that look, these things could get, because he said there's the global external.
And Ketemah, I know we got to go because the grid is going on. You know, tomorrow is Memorial Day. We got to start the grid today. I got to jump in the pool before 8 o'clock, or else the pool will close at 8. But let me say this to you, Ketemah. Let's take 10 calls real quick. I want the people reaction to Amara. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Go, bring in Yekezi. Yekezi, let's take 10 calls. I'll put a number up. I want the people reaction to Amara. Listen,
Okay, I'm moving to the other seat now because this cigar.
You don't leave me hanging. Go to the other seat.
All right, okay, I don't need hanging. Yeah, guys, you come.
Okay, I want to say this. Okay, so Amara want to be on the record. He want to be straight. Let me see Ketema, and I would say exactly what Amara just said. He want to be on the record. He voted Ketema. He voted yes. He voted yes to confirm the word grade. So maybe the senator slave. Can you bring Amara Ketema on real quick? Let me see. Maybe the word grade. Amara is saying I have. Okay, bring him back on. Bring him back on. I got it. Yeah, bring him back on. I'll fix it. Bring him back on.
Okay.
Yeah, bring him back on real quick. Can you hear me, Ketema?
I'm not performing. See, refuse to get a grade. Gotta get a grade. Wait to get my grade. Wait, you have performance so far.
No. But let me go ahead. Let me do this real quick. He said, I have checked my records on nominee the word grade of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and I voted yes. That's what he said. He voted yes. So maybe he slipped. Maybe he slipped. We're gonna let that slide. But again, this was big among the lawmakers. They were big. They're like, America, come on now. You don't have dementia. You're too young, 52, 53 years old. You're strong. You run every evening. But thank God that he's making this correction. Let me say this, folks. We want to hear from you. 10 calls, 5 from America, 5 from Liberia. What you think of Amara Konneh? We're going to grade him tonight on the show. Something that we don't do, but we want you to do it. 5 from Liberia, 5 from America. Let's grade Amara Konneh. Open the phone line, Yekezi.
0777 771 075 0777 771 075
Let me tell my first 5 from here. Hello, your name and where you joining us from?
0777
Your name and where you joining us from? All right, you got to turn your receiver down. Your name and where you joining us from?
I'm Musa Keita, calling from Ministerial.
Musa, I hope you're not to Wallace.
Exactly, I'm not right now calling you.
You see that? But talk to us. What do you make of Amara Konneh presentation tonight?
First of all, thanks to the host, you and Abel Ketama. It was a great show. Amara's presentation was so great. I think it was bold, it was fair, it was to the point. And in our society, whenever you say the truth, people see as anti-regime. I think that's what Amara was stressing. It was to the point. And thanks to the audience as well for the question they were giving before we reading all the questions.
Thank you. Let me bring this person in. Your name and where you joining us from? Yeah, what do you make of Amara presentation?
Amara is very true to power. That's how he like the uncle, or he spoke to the uncle. The uncle is really true as well. And that's so he likes to do. The uncle was very happy they called me. And I'm loving it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Go ahead, Ketema. You got one?
Okay. I gotta go. Puni, go ahead. Puni, you live.
We're not hearing you, man.
Okay, yeah. Hold on 1 second.
Give it to the producer, please. Give it to the producer.
Yeah, hold on. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Puni, hold on.
Go ahead. Hello?
Is it perfect? Yeah, Stan.
Go ahead.
Yeah, all right, Abdullah, I'd like to start by appreciating you and Stan. And trust me, the one-on-one is taking over even the regular spoon. You guys are doing wonderful. And I'd like to appreciate you guys. We'll follow you every weekend. But basically, I'd like to speak to Amara Konneh. My observation is that I think Amara is the first victim of the rescue mission. Abdullah, are you there?
Yes.
Well, we hear you. Talk to us.
He's the first victim of the rescue. If you follow Amara over the period, he's no longer like a team player. He said that he wants the president to succeed, but I think he's firing from the public. Any front page, a week pass, you don't find a week to pass without Amara coming public on Facebook. So my observation is that I think Amara is the first victim of the rescue, and he tried to fight back indirectly.
Thank you.
My observation. It's going to be difficult. And like you guys said, I think the ambition is there. You have already the ambition.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me take this one. Your name and where you calling from?
This Matthew Boys is calling from Atlanta, Georgia.
Talk to us. You got 30 seconds.
Okay, I just want to say thank so much to you guys, man. Katama, man, you are political scientist. man. You guys are doing a tremendous job. And I like what Amara did. Amara did explain this well today. So you guys keep on with a good job. And thank you so much.
Thank you. Let me take this one. Hello, you got to stop me. I don't know. Hello, your name and where you joining us from? Can you lower your TV or your radio or your computer? Can you lower the volume, please?
It's already lower.
Thank you. Talk to us. What do you make of Amara Konneh?
I think it was okay. My name is Thomas Konneh. I'm calling from Minnesota. It was a good show. He's very knowledgeable on the governance system in Liberia and challenges. And he highlighted some of them, where the positives and the negatives are. There's one thing he said very important on the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, that the MFDP is the main feeder. If MFDP does not do well, nothing good happens in the government in Liberia. And I think the team there need to do a great job. The one thing I want to disagree with him on is the issue of the 100,000. Everyone is presenting it to look like a positive thing for decentralization, but I do think that we have the decentralization law, we have the revenue sharing formula law. They should try to promote the implementation of these laws rather than putting money in the budget for the lawmakers to implement projects in their districts.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll take my last one. Hello, your name and where you joining us from?
My name is Konneh, calling from Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Talk to us.
I listened to Senator Konneh, right? And on declaring his asset, I think he took that line from Donald Trump playbook that he going through what he going through now. After that, he will declare an asset. It reminds me what Donald Trump said that when IRS don't audit him, then he would declare his taxes, and he never did. So Amara would never declare. He would never probably his asset. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Your name and where you joining us from?
Hey, Steve, how you doing?
Good. You got to talk to us. You got to be fast. You're my last caller. Your name and where you joining us from? All right, we'll come back to you. So, folks, we're going to go in the studio to Liberia. Only folks from Liberia got a call. If you're following us here live, please give us a grade for Amara Konneh, A, B, C, D. If you want to include F, it's up to you, but we stop to D. Just put the letter grade. We're going to read it after the 5 callers from Liberia. Go ahead real quick, yeah, because it take your first 5.
Hello.
Hello, your name and where you join us from?
My name is Albert P. Connor Jr. I joined from Carua.
Okay. What's your
So I just like to grade Amara Konneh F. Let me tell you something, right? In Liberia, if the Liberian people doesn't reach the stage where they have to cry for themselves, you start crying for them, they will turn against you. Amara Konneh must be very careful how you run the government. You're part of the government, you cannot be there to be undermining the government. You can't be a Facebook senator. You can't ask a junior brother, there's an issue, you go and stay with the president, so people will have a thing. But they are friendly. To be going on, making kind of reckless statement is not what to work out.
Okay, thank you. Let's talk to another person. Hello. Let's hear you. Your name and where you join us from?
My name is Josiah Smith from the Commandant 2010, coming like a 40.
What is your grading of the conversation with the senator?
Well, let me say this. I'm going to call it our grading for 140. No, why am I grading 40? I'm not calling it part and parcel of this journey. We are very godly going and very rich driven in my work. We should be okay with making all other things. Say that the idea of all the things we're doing. Set with the president. Set with the government power to make things better the way it can be. We take 100,000, 150,000 to take around you for the president around you. The more money are being getting. Like the president of the year are there implementing here and get to the impact.
Okay. Thank you. Let's talk to another person. Hello, your name and where you join us from?
Thank you very much.
Hello, let's hear you. Hello?
Yeah, this is Joshua Toto. I call you from Painesville this evening.
What's your grade for the senator?
I would give Senator Konneh B. I gave Senator Konneh B because, it doesn't matter whether you bring somebody to power or not. It's always good to speak truth to power. When a person is proceeding wrongly, you put them on the right track. If they are proceeding the right way, you commend them. I think Senator Konneh was being very bold enough to speak truth to power. Thank you so much. We need so much of Senator Konneh.
I should be giving the man A. Yeah, okay, let's talk to another person.
You got 2 more.
Hello. Let's hear your name and where you join us from.
Thank you. I feel this for district since my niece Luther Secretary.
Luther, let's hear you.
You know, I listen to Senator this year ago. You see, the black nothing good to do with the country. The only credit that use the fast solution in the private, then you take the media. Everywhere the senator will take media. So when the president is called the issue high against the very private. Don't honor the president. Don't honor the government. I'm not great. I'll get it. Thank you.
Okay, but zero then I'll read that.
The last call.
I love the callers.
We still taking calls? You muted.
Take one more.
You muted, CEO. We're not getting you.
No, I'm not muted. I said take one more.
Oh, okay. All right. Hello?
Can you hear me from here?
Yeah.
You are trying to reach is current.
Oh my God. Hello, let's talk to you. Your name and where you join us from?
My name is Diwa. I said Konneh 100%.
Okay.
But I'm asking him to do what he's supposed to do for this government. If it is right, let him say it is right. If it is wrong, I enjoy him this evening. I love him. I give him 100%. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ketema. Look up, look our thread here. You got a lot of BC. You got a few D. I have not seen F. You got a few A's likewise. I want to say a great show. Listen, you want to join us next week. It will be firing. It will be powerful. We'll tell you who our guest is going to be. I can guarantee you next week will be the National Port Authority Managing Director. He's our guest. He will be in studio. We have confirmed with him the National Port Authority Managing Director. What's his name, Ketema?
Sekou Dukle.
Sekou Dukle will be our guest. He will be in studio.
The question I got for that man, when I catch that man in the studio.
So there you go. All of Americana is coming up. Abu Koroma A, Mikeville Judy A, Abraham Konneh A, David Seyon A, Masias Nene B, Baba Tule A, Sekou Donso A, Royal Musa Sharif A. You can follow our show. You guys see from Abraham Top Sawyer. Again, let me say this. This is one-on-one with the CEO. Hosting, we're going to host this show, Ketema and I. We're going to make it rain. We're going to be tough on our newsmaker. Amara Konneh presented well today. I'm going to give Amara Konneh. I don't think I should grade him because I was the host. So I'm not going to grade Amara Konneh, but you can grade him. Huh?
I think he did well.
He did well.
I really want to know.
Can you adjust the microphone, please?
Oh, my microphone. Oh, you can hear me?
Yeah, you're good now. Yeah.
I really want to know. You know, we're playing our game, but he survived the game. You know, he survived the little stuff. But I think he did well, and he was forceful. He was forthright. He was courageous to speak up about the issues the way he did. He stood his ground. Let's put it that way. And one thing he did, and I think even critics will say, he criticized but offered solution. So he married criticism with solution, and I think that is very easy. That is very important. As well. I think he did that well. He did.
I'm not going to say Joe kicked me out. Barker kicked me out because when he started and said President Barker said people are saved, right?
So it means that the Thomas are still happening. The Thomas thing is still happening.
Exactly, but my thing is that, and I asked Amara, man, can you trust the other lawmakers? But that's why I cannot grade Amara on the show tonight. Because I'm standing on Ketema. I hear a lot. You know, I hear a lot. Let me say this. Yeah, you are. What do you want to say?
Because you part of Bagai Sako, but you don't Ali Osado.
No, yeah. I love President Barker. That's why I don't want anybody bringing. That's why I don't want anyone bringing nonsense around the old man.
One day you put heat on the paper, one day you take a heat by.
We've been doing it since the campaign. But I admire Amara Konneh. He's fearless. Let me say this. He doesn't care. You like him, you hate him, he's going to say what he thinks right. And I hope most of our lawmakers can be not like Amara Konneh, but they should have the chance, the time to speak up. Let me tell you another person I think that just don't care. They won't do their people job. people will beat me on this, but Edwin Snow, they are not wishy-washy. If they were eat credit, not with shame. I'm not saying the old Edwin Snow. I see you shaking your head. I am saying no. I see you. No. You're right. Yeah, I saw you. You shake your head. I know you, and I knew I was going to entrap you with the name Edwin Snow. I saw your disagreement when I say Edwin Snow.
I'm an issue. There are a few downsides to the interview. One was the asset issue. I think he didn't answer that pretty well about publishing and declaring. So that's the area. The other issue is that I think that, but overall, an issue about the reform, when he received that money from the Senate, he felt everybody got to take care of it. So I thought that was a little.
It's a little politics, and he don't want to throw him under the bus. But he came out against his own friend Polo. You know who Polo is, right? Joey. He said CDC don't have a leader yet. They're still looking for a leader. Yeah.
That one. And they actually avoided comments.
Go on the Spoon page. Go on the Spoon page. James Goodefin doing a whole write-up on that. That CDC said it is true. CDC still looking for leaders.
But he avoided talking about coming. You notice that, right? He avoided.
That was the best thing. I love that. He couldn't talk about coming in too deep. But CDC still looking for a leader. CDC don't have a leader because Joey said, I'm not ready. Then he can come up publicly and say, I'm running. CDC have no leader. And that's why I will rest on this. And that's why your friend, Akaris Gray, he proposed that we'll do protests and he took it back. All of them. Seriously. Because they got no leader. And Americano was damn right. They have no leaders.
But I'm actually nice to the opposition. I think the opposition is disjointed and disorganized, but I'm not nice to them. I'm not saying, they're waiting for the 100. I think you're trying to get him a soft landing, which is not bad. He's a political player. We got to make sure he.
I'm so happy for the show today. Next week, I know we'll be doing great. We're having Sekou Dukle, the National Port Authority, MD, the manager, but the youngest MD though. And let me say this: I won't hold back what I want to say. We will jam in with questions. We'll talk about everything, but I will tell you exactly why are we bringing him next Sunday. I will tell you why we're bringing him next Sunday.
I have a toughest question reserved for Sekou Dukle. And he not sweat on air condition. You will always Sekou sweat. Folks, thank you very much. Thanks for joining us. Ketema, as always, man. I can't wait to see you by next Sunday, man. Thank you a lot. Yekezi, thanks for producing. We always say one-on-one with the CEO and Ketamba here on Spoon. Spoon Network is the place to be. Don't forget, tomorrow will be Spoon Talk. We'll come firing. We'll come with everything we know, and all the panelists will be set, including Paul Kennedy, to respond to Amara Konneh. And right now, Paul Kennedy is calling your food ready. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Okay, folks. It was a beautiful show. Join the team on next Sunday when they be here again with another guest, like the CEO announced, Sekou Dukle.
Yes, sir. A special one from the CEO, stand with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band.